What's going on? Thoughts everywhere. Oh, hold on 1 second. Hold on. Okay. My lighting wasn't on. Too busy playing Apex and enjoying that game. Okay, so tonight for Classic Fight Night, it's going to be viewer request. You can request a fight and we'll put it on. Can't promise we're going to get to all of them, but we're going to try to do as best we can. To start, I have a fight that I think is a must. Absolute must. Ray Mercer versus Tommy Morrison.
The 22-year-old Morrison, 6'2",
yeah, Shrek, it is.
221 3/4. Last 5 fights, he's been between 223 and 227. Mercer, 10 pounds heavier than his fight against Damiani. At the age of 30, 6'1.5", 225.
Man, I didn't realize Tommy Morrison was 22 in this fight.
Reaches. The rules governed by the WBO. 3 knockdown rule in effect. Standing 8 count is not in effect. You cannot be saved by the bell, and scoring on a 10-point must system. And Sean, how do you see these two on the blackboard?
Well, the challenger Tommy Morrison set control early. Try to take him out in the first few seconds of the fight. Ray starts slow. Try to end it in the opening. If not, back off, trying just to win one round at a time. Use a sporadic attack.
Jersey State Athletic Control Board. The scoring for this bout will be done on a 10-point must system, and the 3 judges are Gene Williams, Rick Bays, and Stuart Winston. And when the bell rings, the man in charge of the action, the referee, working for the 75th time in a world title bout, Tony Perez.
Tony just looks like he's
and
there
now, ladies and gentlemen, from Atlantic City's Convention Hall, by way of Donald J. Trump and the Trump Plaza Hotel and Casino on the boardwalk in Atlantic City, New Jersey, let's get ready to rumble! 12 rounds.
Happy Friday,
for the WBO World Heavyweight Championship. Introducing first, fighting out of the blue corner, wearing the black trunks with stars and stripes trim. His weight, 221 3/4 pounds. He comes from Kansas City. His professional record, undefeated, 28-0, 24 KOs. Ladies and gentlemen, the challenger, Tommy the Duke Morrison.
Provo's just a mess.
And across the ring in the red corner, wearing the white trunks with red, gold, and black trim, weighing an even 225 pounds. Originally from Jacksonville, Florida, he now fights for the Triple Threat Gym in Newark, New Jersey. This 1988 Olympic gold medal champion is now
Shrek, can you tell me something really quick?
With a record of 17
Why do you like Trovo
12
so much?
KOs.
What about
Ladies and
Trovo
gentlemen,
attracts you?
The WBO World Heavyweight Champion, Merciless Ray Mercer.
One thing I like about Trovo is the quality is actually very good.
Mercer, Morrison, you already got your instructions in the dressing room, all right? Give me a good, clean fight, and I will not bother neither one of you. 2 things you must remember. Obey my commands, and most important, protect yourself at all times. Check hands, and good luck to the both of you.
Deontay Wilder.
Biggest fight in the career of each of these fighters. Tommy Morrison, the challenger, in the corner to the left. Sean, what's going through his mind right now?
It is.
Right now,
it is really good
quality. His fight plan. You're waiting for this first bell to ring. Get it underway. This is the longest time between the 2 fights.
And how about Ray Mercer?
Ray Mercer defending his title.
The tools it gives you are amazing.
Also trying to run through his fight plan and try to establish control early for both of these heavyweights.
These 2 fighters have combined for 22 first-round knockouts. 15 by Morrison.
And there's
7 by Mercer. And
Mercer
this is
looks
a very small ring.
so slow at the beginning round.
18 foot 6 inches inside the ropes. The ring is a puncher's mat.
Tommy looks so good this first round.
Very thick padding. You can dig your toes into there and push. Thrust forward with your shots.
Here are two sluggers looking for an opening. Neither a defensive win.
Tank versus Cruz should
So
be
you know there will be
really
openings.
fun.
And it is Morrison trying to work inside.
I like that fight, actually.
Mercer, who is 10 pounds heavier than he was against Damiani, and that fight was 9 months ago. So if you start to look for advantages and disadvantages on each side, Mercer has been less active than Morrison in the ring.
I love Tommy
Both
Morrison.
fighters have been
It's just
coming
sad
off
his
series of
career is
injuries.
very
It was the
sad.
calf muscle that hurt Morrison. He said he
End
couldn't
of it
move. He was
is
stepping
really
over himself against Faulen when he was outboxed. And Mercer with many injuries, the last one an ankle injury that originally postponed a fight between he and Riddick Bowe, which came after the postponement of this initial fight back in August.
If Tommy Morrison fought
was,
in a different
cut and
decade
sawing
as
over the
well,
eye.
And they both say
I mean,
that
he
for
was in
this
a
fight,
tough
they're at
decade.
100%. You know, and I have fought in the past with injuries. When you go into a ring without an injury, it's an unusual feeling. A little bit pushing behind the head from Mercer, just trying to take Morrison out of it. Just that the referee said.
Oh.
Good combination.
By Morrison, who wants to do it early. He has
Tommy
never
Morrison has
been
a
beyond
beautiful
6,
left hook and
he
that
doesn't wanna
uppercut,
go to
man.
the later
Holy
rounds.
shit.
Morrison coming on, and Mercer could be in trouble in the first round. Now Mercer coming back.
Now Morrison cannot start reading the headlines. He wants to have a good showing in this fight. He wants to try to knock Mercer out early, but don't waste your punches. You've got to pinpoint those shots. For Mercer, sometimes when you're getting pummeled like he is, the best thing to do is just get with it, get busy.
And in the back of the mind of Ray Mercer, part
I'll
of
be
his
honest,
strategy,
I've
he would
only
love
seen the
to see
end of this fight.
Morrison
I've never
punch
seen the
himself out
actual
early.
entire fight.
Very much so. A very changed fighter now that he is the champion, too. We've seen an example of how a championship can change a fighter. You bring a confidence of a champ into the ring with you. The confidence of that title belt.
Ray Mercer won the gold medal at Seoul at the age of 27, the oldest member of the '88 Olympic squad. He says he certainly has more to lose in this head-to-head.
Hey,
with
John, what's
Morrison
going
at
on?
the age now of 30.
John, we
10
also have
seconds.
Sunday night. There's
Good
a fight
exchanges
Sunday
here in
night,
the
so
first
if
3
you miss
minutes
tomorrow, that's
of
fine.
this scheduled
Sunday
12
might be the
round.
better fight.
Good opening round from Tommy the Duke Morrison. Look at this, the best shot of the night from him. Still early, the good right uppercut followed by the left hook. Here is another shot of the
Oh,
punch.
that uppercut.
A great combination because the
Brutal.
one shot, the uppercut, brings your opponent's head up. The left hook tries to knock it off. There it is. Up, no defense when your head's up like that. And the left hook knocks it off. There's the corner of Tommy the Duke Morrison.
And it is certainly a team in the corner.
Dude, Tommy looked so good that first round.
Second round action. Good first round for Tommy Morrison. Both fighters hearing it from their corners. You heard in the interviews of Tommy Morrison referring to everything he does as we. It is certainly
Yeah, he does hit like a
as far
truck.
as
I mean, he
Morrison's
also throws
concerned.
everything
He
into
brought
every
the
punch.
howitzers, although missing against Mercer. If there has been any criticism of Mercer, although he denies it, has been his training habits. He says he's been training hard for this fight.
And the Duke must be very careful not to waste those shots at the air. It takes more out of a fighter to swing and miss than to swing and land. And he referred to himself as we in the interviews, but he is all alone out there in that ring.
The last defeat suffered by Tommy Morrison.
I
was back
honestly,
in 1988, early in
I
his
would
Olympic trials
to look Shrek. I'm like
against
torn.
Ray Mercer.
Because part of me
Morrison
wants
is,
like
perfect
Tommy
as a pro,
to lose because I hate
28-0
Tommy Fury.
with 24 knockouts.
Part of me wants Jake to
A lot of
lose
those
though,
walkover
that we don't have to
fights.
hear about him anymore.
And he knows this is his first test
And I just don't know which is worse.
in his professional career.
Big left hook. His favorite punch is that left. Tommy Morrison.
The challenger is Morrison, and he looks very confident at this point, and it's the champion Mercer who's a little leery.
Hey,
He's
Jay, what's
finding
going
that
on?
It's not the same 19-year-old former high school football player fighting his first heavyweight fight. That's when they met in the amateurs.
And strong is Morrison. Look at, he's lowered his trunk, his center of gravity, and he's able to manhandle Ray Mercer here in the second round. Still early yet. These fights are scheduled for 12.
And remember, with these two fighters, either can fall behind and still deliver the home run ball. This
Oh,
is
yeah,
the
Jay.
story
He's
of
doing
power.
great. I mean,
Mercer
first 2 rounds
did it
looks
in his
really
last
good.
fight against Damiani, as he was outboxed completely in that fight. And in the 9th round,
He
knocked
throws
out
nothing
Damiani.
but heat,
That had
though.
knockout written all over it, but a good head move by Mercer to elude the big right hand.
And that's the way he got this title. That is incidentally his only knockout after 5. Could become a factor.
Mercer's, or rather Morrison, great respect for Mercer. Says he knows he has the heart of the lion. And a great chin. And
Oh,
there's
another great
one
uppercut.
Testing the chin. But Morrison feels that Mercer is a one-dimensional fighter and hasn't really improved much from his days as an Olympian. But he says you don't knock Mercer out with 1 or 2 shots. You have to make him quit. And
Another
so far,
great left
it
hook
has
from
been
Tommy.
Morrison big in the first 2 rounds. Join us ringside at the Convention Center on the boardwalk in Atlantic City, New Jersey. WBO Heavyweight Championship. Tommy Morrison in the black trunks. Ray Mercer in the
At
white.
this point in the fight, Tommy's
And
looking
it
really
is,
good.
Morrison feeling
Like he's clearly
more
in control,
confident. 2 big rounds.
clearly
for
winning the
Morrison.
fight.
Their fights don't go too long, and we are in the 3rd. Morrison with
Hey,
24
Ganja, what's
knockouts
going
in
on,
his
dude?
28 victories. Mercer's knocked out 12 in his perfect 17-0 record.
Ooh,
Left
good
hook
little
again
short
by
left
Morrison. A
hand.
quick flash left hook. Another one from Mercer to put the punches together and come up the middle like Morrison
Dude,
did right
exactly.
And that uppercut
Exactly,
may have split
Ganja.
the lip. Yes, it did. The lower lip of Ray Mercer.
there. That's the same problem he had in the Damiani fight. The lower lip. was
Oh,
cut.
that uppercut.
Again, right on it.
Oh, my
From
God.
Morrison,
B3, what's
Tito
going
from
on, man?
Mercer, a little peekaboo, 1 minute into the 3rd round.
Yeah, Shrek, look it up.
One of the questions was what would happen if Morrison got in trouble. He's really never had to survive a war. And Mercer has. Well, so far, it's Mercer who looks like he will have to survive. Morrison is essentially unscathed.
Tommy's doing, I mean, 22 in this
Mercer is
fight.
surviving
He's looking
early and
really
looking
good.
wisely tying up inside. Let the referee break it. It'll buy you some time. What he wants to do is just get you fight into those later rounds.
At this
But he
point in
has
his
taken a
career,
beating
too,
to the
Tommy's
back.
built like an
Paying the
ox.
price.
Not afraid to get hit, though. He's a man that'll take 2 punches in order to land one of his own. He knows he's got some power.
Mercer has gone 12 on a couple occasions. Morrison has never been beyond 6. He's only gone past the 2nd round
Nice little
on
body
7
shot right there.
occasions in 28 fights, and here he is in round number 3 tonight.
Well, his idol's Rocky Marciano, and he is fighting like The Rock tonight. Big combinations, a busy pace.
Oh, thanks, B3. I appreciate it, man. Yeah, Shrek, I know, right?
Morrison stalking. If he had any butterflies, they're gone by now. He has been the aggressor in this fight.
If
But he
you
knows
see
he
Tommy
cannot
in
get careless against
later
Mercer.
photos in his life, it's crazy.
For the
It's
WBO
crazy
heavyweight
how different he
championship,
looks.
Morrison in the other divisions ranks between 8 and 12 in the WBA, BC, and the IBF. Now Mercer, as a champion, is not ranked in the other divisions. Where would you put him?
Well, they are all rival organizations, but I'd put him about the same place that Tommy is, from 8 to 12.
And there's a big right by Mercer to end the 3rd round.
Good shot by Mercer at the end there.
So far for Tommy Morrison, it looks like this has
Tommy just looks
been
like he's
scripted by his
hunting.
choreographer in Rocky V. Mercer, though, very confident, sitting in his corner, discussing things with trainer Hank Johnson.
No punching.
Well, he thinks that Tommy is going to punch himself out, but he's having to pay a price for it. His bottom lip is sliced wide open. They don't want for Ray to get hit as much. They want him to move a little bit more so he doesn't have to take so many shots.
Ray Mercer coming back this round big time.
Puts a couple of rights together. Remember,
Oh boy. Oh boy.
Right hand is a gift to end the third round.
He would steal your girl to. He would steal your car. Yeah.
Crowd getting into this one. Great matchup.
Oh,
Two sluggers. We're
gotcha.
trying to find more and more about them. See which one proceeds up the ladder in the heavyweight division. It is for the
That's
WBO
bad.
title. But these two fighters have the proper perspective. They know the winner goes on and gets in line for some possible major
God.
paydays.
Oh my
The
God,
chance to crack
dude.
the upper echelon
That's-
of the heavyweight world. And there Morrison runs into the left, and now Mercer
That is
coming
fucking
on
hilarious.
in round number 4.
Oh
For
my
big- for good
God.
professionals, the fight starts after 3. A good left uppercut to buckle the knees of Morrison.
Oh my God.
This is scheduled for 12.
That's fucking
So for
funny.
Mercer,
I don't care
he's
who
just
you
trying to get
are.
everything going in the
Look at
first
this.
round. Tommy
Morrison in
is
this
hurt
round
right
is like
now.
wilting. You can just see it.
Tommy Morrison has his mouth wide
I'm be
open.
right next to you. Right next to you,
Easier to
Ganja.
get your jaw broke when your mouth is open like that. Showing signs of fatigue also.
Definitely, Jay.
With that mouth
Absolutely. The
open,
killer be
the time
killed
is hanging
type.
out.
The Mercer corner telling him be first.
I mean, look how you can
And
start to
Mercer
see Tommy
has to
slowing
here in
down
the 4th round.
big time.
Mercer wants to take Morrison into uncharted waters.
There's not a lot of effort on those punches
After the 6th
anymore.
round.
And Ray's just like, keep getting tired. Only round 4.
Mercer tying up, just trying to get to those later rounds. But they warned him about getting too far behind in this fight. Hank Johnson said, you can't take all this punishment.
Ray Mercer may have been 3 rounds behind coming into this 4th. But he is turning the fight in his direction here in round 4.
Ray described himself as an adaptable fighter. He said that if he needed to, he could box, and that's what he's done here. Right now, he's boxing around Tommy Morrison and landing shots.
Good round for Ray Mercer.
Pivotal round number 4 as Mercer acknowledges his fans here in Atlantic City. He resides in Newark, New Jersey, and feels a little better about this evening as he sits in between rounds. And Morrison is now hearing it from his team.
Great round. Great round for Ray Mercer.
It means you have to change your levels. Relax, recover. Keep it flow. You got to change your levels. You got to follow up with your punches. Right? What you're trying to do is you let
Tommy landed some serious leather in the
Says
first
Tom
round.
Burgess, former amateur coach.
Oh yeah, both. This is like, that's why I picked it for the first fight of the night.
4th round action. Mercer turned it around that round with heavy shots like this. Good punches from him. In that round, Tommy Morrison started lunging.
That and,
Mercer made him pay for it.
this is one of those classic fights you gotta
Mercer
watch.
says he's packed more experience into his 17 pro fights than Morrison has in his 27. Mercer
Look at Ray Mercer.
pounding away. Morrison may be going. Morrison is
The
gone.
worst, one of the worst knockouts, man. There you go, John. Yeah, Shrek. Ray Mercer absolutely murked Tommy Morrison. And it was a huge deal.
Came back.
He described himself as a warrior, a soldier.
See if
inside
they
the
have
ring.
slow-mo of
And
it.
that's the way he fought tonight. He got pummeled by this man, Tommy Morrison, and
Slow-mo
able
wasn't
to
as
survive
fast as
and
it
come-
was,
And he jumped
today.
on him in
So
the
here we go.
4th and
Here
then
it
in the
is.
5th.
Because of the inexperience, Morrison went out and his hands started coming down in this 4th and 5th round. Down come the hands, tying up more, showing the effects. His mouth is wide open.
And then just let it loose, let it fly. Beautiful body shot. Then comes upstairs.
Here
that
he is,
right
just
there.
connecting with
That
shots, unanswered
huge
punches,
shot on the chin.
out on his feet, and hurt is Tommy the Duke Morrison. A lot of shots from merciless Ray Mercer. Referee let that one go a little bit too long, of too many punches. Here it is again. The heavy shots.
This is why a good ref is so important.
Morrison is trying to tie up, but just can't do it. Tony Perez needs to step in, and that's all.
Completely uncovered. No defense shots like that.
That one, ironically.
That was one of those, that's not great kind of moments. For sure. All right. If anyone has a suggestion, it's viewer request. Otherwise, I'll find something that I'll throw on. I know, gotcha. Like, jump in, man. Jump in there and protect this dude. All right. Do a little Rocky Marciano. Any in particular fight? Any, like, fight that you're like, we got to watch that one? Let's see what pops up. Here's a classic. And it's fully colorized now.
Of Brockton, Massachusetts. It's Joe Lewis of Detroit and Rocky Marciano of Brockton, Massachusetts.
You got Ray Lewis versus, an old Ray Lewis.
Round one, and Joe Lewis, the brown bomber in the dark trunks, Marciano in the white. And there's tremendous drama involved in this one. Joe Lewis, one of the greatest champions the boxing game has ever known. At 37, he faces a man 10 years younger than himself, a man who's coming up the ladder to greatness, Rocky Marciano. Marciano undefeated in 37 consecutive professional fights. Marciano goes right to work on the brown bomber.
I love the old
likes to work in close,
of
with
boxing.
his head on Joe Lewis's chest. Marciano much the shorter of the two. Lewis is 6'2". Marciano is 5'11". Marciano working inside on Joe Lewis.
The inside work was so important back then. Yeah.
The referee is Ruby Goldstein, and he breaks them.
That's fine, Shrek.
First round of the scheduled 10-rounder.
Oh, that's awesome, Ganja. Yeah, this is great. I love when
Lewis,
people do this.
Perhaps on his way back to regaining the
Colorize
crown that
it.
no heavyweight champion ever has regained.
Look, physically, look at the shoulders of Joe Lewis and look at the shoulders of Rocky Marciano. They don't look at all like they're in the same weight class.
Joe, the great ex-champion,
which is so crazy to see these two.
But still a tough fighter to be reckoned with.
Like, Joe is
still
just
perhaps the best
so big compared to Rocky. Look at the shoulders. It's insane.
Marciano going right to work, staying in close. Lewis fighting back with lefts and rights. And a good solid right
Joe!
by Marciano. Slowed Lewis
lands
down.
a few good ones, but Rocky lands
That's the end of the first
devastating right hand.
Now they come out for round three. Joe Lewis in the dark trunks, Marciano in the white. And excitement is as great as if this were actually a title fight. Joe still possesses a murderous punch.
The only heavyweight today who reminds me of the old school fighters
is at the peak of
on the inside. Not enough heavyweights train working clinches anymore.
Before making boxing his career, Rocky was an all-star athlete.
Fury is a guy that likes to really do work on the inside.
On the football 11.
Not a lot of guys
like that. In 1946, Rocky was given a tryout with the Chicago
pretty
Cubs.
accurate.
However, a sore throwing arm ended his diamond career.
Wow. Rocky Marciano telegraphs a little.
Marciano, 37 fights, 37
oh, huge
victories,
uppercut from Joe
32
Louis.
of 37 by KOs. Of course, Joe Louis is one of the greatest of all time. He's had 70 professional fights. He won 68. Two he lost. One to Max Schmeling.
He's 68
and the process of a comeback to Ezra Charles.
You're Joe Louis and you're 68 and 2. And you're 37 years old. And you've fought like all the best. Yeah, that's true, Jay.
Marciano staying in tight against Joe Louis, putting his head on his chest and burrowing in. Louis trying to keep him off.
Pretty much. I think that's super accurate.
Left jab of Lewis's, once so terribly potent, doesn't seem quite as effective against Marciano.
I mean, Joe being so much bigger, you think he would be roughhousing Rocky Marciano. And Rocky Marciano's just winging shots in there.
Louis, and that sure sign of age, that ball spot on top of his head. Marciano made to look bad on that wild miss.
A lot slower, Track. A lot slower. Even in the clinches, Rocky Marciano's pushing him around.
Big question about Joe Louis is whether or not his legs can stand up under the punishment. Whether he can take the grueling pace that Marciano was sure to set. And a wild overhand right just grazed the mark. Didn't quite land.
Rocky Marciano. Now I know where Dave Allen learned to throw some punches. Dave Allen throws the same overhand right like that.
Round number 6. Marciano in the white trunks comes out of his corner raring to go. He's clearly in better condition than the former champion. 10 years the younger. But like the great fighter he is, Joe Louis is always a dangerous man in the ring. Either one of these two men can win it with a single punch. You know, Joe Louis, as an amateur, won the National AAU and Golden Gloves light heavyweight titles in 1934. He scored 42 knockouts in 54 bouts. And then back on July 4th of 1934, he made his entry into the pro ranks, flattening Jack Kraken in the first round at Chicago.
That Dave Allen overhand right ganja. I knew you'd get that one.
That was the beginning of one of the great careers in the history of all boxing.
His overhand right is, you know, a little bit reminiscent
of Rocky Marciano career this evening.
And the size of the gloves.
Louis, the brown bomber, not quite as sharp, not quite as quick as he used to be, but still packing that tremendous punch.
Everything is so much
quick enough to follow up the advantage of those wild overhand rights
so much
by Rocky
rougher
Marciano.
And just in comparison to kind of like the stylized versions of what we get today, right? And small and flimsy.
Marciano still boring
there's
in
probably
tight.
the padding back
Joe Louis.
then. Something else Tyson Fury knows a lot about.
That's rough, grueling,
old school padding.
Punching. In close. Marciano first to the body and then to the head.
Allen was trying to line Usyk
up
at the sparring clip, and he got turned to stone. Dude, that's I know. And like that was
Louis now
Dave Allen,
fight.
Give the guy credit for what he was. Got his money got out of boxing.
Louis can't take advantage of his longer reach and a superior height.
I thought you might have done
fighting.
It's the awkwardness of Rocky Marciano that
those shorts, rights and lefts, are being taken by Marciano.
Every time I watch him fight him, like his footwork's not perfect. He's just winging shots.
And that's the end of round 6.
He just wants to tire you
By
out.
round number 8, Joe Louis is still in there punching. Marciano in the white trunks shows on his face the effects of Joe's stinging punches. Note the puffiness around the eyes. Nevertheless, it's not the Joe Louis of old. He's taking a battering, too, for Rocky has plenty of steam in his younger fists.
Okay, the gloves had that little padding back. Yeah, I know. Basically hand wraps.
Marciano seems more aggressive now, beginning to pile on the pressure. Beginning to quicken the tempo.
Pretty much,
and the
yeah,
pace,
that padding was
making
gone.
it tougher on the older Joe Louis. Marciano is now doing most of the leading.
Top
1 minute
top
gone,
level
round number
graphics
8.
for you, John.
Overhand
I mean,
right
for
by
what it
Marciano
is,
missed.
right?
And that uppercut misses too. But he keeps throwing, and some of those punches do
Oh,
get
man.
home. There's a solid right to the midsection then by Marciano.
I mean, Joe Louis
Lewis
looks
up, an overhand
huge
right
in this.
raises Lewis's jaw. Marciano seems to be landing more frequently now.
Rocky Marciano was never like a true, like, from
Lewis
what I
looking just a
no,
bit
I could
tired.
be wrong.
Marciano
I believe he was
just as
never
strong
like
as
a
ever.
true today's
Full
heavy.
like in his rushes.
Oh, beautiful
A
shot.
left hook to the jaw. And Lewis takes the count on one knee. Goldstein counting over him. Now he's up at his feet.
Beautiful shot.
Ready to meet Rocky Marciano. Comes plowing in.
One thing about Rocky Marciano,
Lewis trying to
if you're
hold
hurt,
on.
he's
Marciano
an
trying to end it right here and now.
absolute nightmare. He might not land a
Lewis
billion
using
punches
all
on
his
you,
ring
but he's going to
experience,
work
trying
you
to hold on.
so hard.
Marciano trying to get that one punch home.
Look at this.
Back against the ropes goes Lewis. A left and a right, and down he goes, and full the ropes on the apron of the ring. It's all over. He can't get up. He's being helped to his feet now by referee Ruby Goldstein and Dr. Vincent Martiello, the Garden's ringside physician, and all of Joe's handlers are looking after the former champion now. But apart from the days he's in, Joe Louis has come to the close of a glorious ring career.
I mean, brutal, brutal knockout. Brutal knockout. Ooh. Let's see what happens, Jay. I might get in trouble for this one, but I'm going to try it. I'm going to try it. I'm going to try it, Jay, because you requested it. Right now, it might get me in some trouble because it's so new, but let's see what happens. Pacquiao versus Hatton. We did that during the Pacquiao one, but we can do that one again. I mean, that's not a long fight. Oh, this is Russian. Very Russian. Super Russian. Let me find out, see what I can find. I got highlight. Everything else is, yeah, that's probably gonna. That might get. But I like the suggestion. What else you guys got? Let's see. We could do Pacquiao, Hatton. We could do Michael. I mean, here we go. When you say Spinks, I'm guessing you mean Michael. All right, here we go. Perfect.
And now you are looking live at the ring where moments
Ooh,
ago
quiet.
in the dressing rooms a major controversy erupted. You're looking at a tape shot of Butch Lewis, the manager of Michael Spinks, who went wild after he discovered that Mike Tyson had his hands taped and apparently had the gloves put on without a representative of Spinks' camp being in Tyson's dressing room. Here to face an opponent who has a shorter reach than he does. And in case, incidentally, we needed any more pre-fight controversy to deal.
He finds a way to win. Will he find?
Structure of the place is such that.
Who was that? Yeah, Michael Jordan. I was gonna say that's Michael
Structure
Jordan.
of the place is such that the crowd takes a while to become aware of the fighter exiting the dressing room and coming in. And there you see a shot from.
No robe, nothing. This is classic Mike Tyson. This is like, I'm gonna fuck you up, Mike
97
Tyson.
days, relatively brief.
Oh, this is such.
For a
This is
heavyweight
such. Oh,
or for
man, I
any
love
pro.
this classic version of Mike with the music and everything. I mean,
Record
this
of
is
34-0, and that doesn't
I
count
love
his
a good
recent
classic
bouts
Mike
with his
Tyson
wife
fight.
and his manager.
And
Yeah,
now,
Tyson was
ladies
very
and gentlemen,
scary.
once and for all, let's get ready to rumble.
Maybe we
12
do
rounds
Ward versus
for
Froch.
the undisputed heavyweight championship of the world. Introducing first, fighting out of the blue corner, wearing the white trunks with black trim, and weighing in at 212 and
Spinks.
1/4 pounds. He's originally from St. Louis, Missouri, now lives in Wilmington, Delaware. This Olympic gold medal champion has a professional record of 31 victories without a loss.
Mike's not in my
21 by
top
knockout.
five.
He is the
He could
former
probably hit the top
undisputed
10
and
though.
undefeated light heavyweight champion of the world and the only king of that division ever to win the
He's
heavyweight title.
generally
in the history of
considered to
boxing.
be
Because he never lost
around
that
the
title in
top
ring,
10.
He is still recognized by many, including Boxing Illustrated and Ring Magazine, as the heavyweight
Wow.
champion. Ladies and gentlemen, the undefeated man who brings the drinks, Michael Speed.
Fair enough, Ganja. I gotcha.
And fighting out of the red
Oh,
corner.
I'm glad, Shrek.
Wearing the solid black trunks and weighing 218 and 1/4 pounds. Originally from the streets of Brooklyn, he passed through the hometown of the late great trainer of champions, Customato, Catskill, New York, and he now lives in North New Jersey. His professional record, 34 consecutive victories. with
Michael
30
Buffer,
knockouts,
just shut the
including
fuck up.
26 KOs in 5 rounds or less, and 15 in the first round alone. Ladies and gentlemen, presenting the undisputed, the undefeated heavyweight champion of the world, Iron Mike Tyson.
I wish I could have been at some of these old fights back in the.
And Larry, as referee Frank Cappuccino begins to issue final
Look at the
instructions.
build of Mike and then
Let me
look
ask
at
about
Michael
one
Spinks.
possibility.
Michael Spinks looks like
Are there any
Well, listen to
questions
this.
by either of
he's
you?
got like kind of like a dad bod
Both you
compared to
touch
Mike.
gloves. Good luck to both of you.
Could it be that this eerie atmosphere is what Butch Lewis wanted?
Froch was an
I don't
absolute
think anybody
warrior.
is smart enough to figure how everybody would react to that.
Absolute
I do think that this
warrior.
fight will be decided by two things: how Michael Spinks can deal
He was cut
with
from
the
a different
extreme
cloth.
pressure that Tyson puts on a fighter, that can totally discombobulate a man who's used to setting his own tempo. And secondly, what happens when Tyson hits him? Because he figures to get hit in this fight somewhere.
We'll see what happens when Tyson hits him.
I see that Michael Spinks is a little tight. His legs are not as loose as they normally have been in the past. Now watch Tyson jump right into his chest.
Yeah, no flash, all business.
Michael
That's
Spinks.
right. Spinks was a brave
movement.
man.
Keep those hands high.
I mean,
Very, very high.
Stepping in.
yeah, you know it's old school Mike when there's no tattoos.
All right, stop punching. Whoa. Hey, Mike, knock it off, man. Knock it off.
Cappuccino already warning Mike about the
I
elbows.
love that.
Various opponents
The
have
ref.
complained that Tyson runs them with
Cappuccino.
elbows along the ropes in close.
You see the tactics used by Michael Spinks now. He's throwing his jab, but he has
I
to keep
love
those
that Mike's
hands
just flinching
extremely
and
high.
you see
Watch
Michael
for the
Spinks
uppercuts,
just
too.
Tyson landed a left
his
hand.
body
and those
reaction
corners.
is so
And now
obvious that he's
Cappuccino goes
scared
to
to get
work
hit
again.
by Mike.
Tyson not afraid, as we expected, and Spinks ready to mix it up with him. Tyson along the ropes doing damage.
And when
Michael
Mike
Spinks
smelled
has to keep
blood,
moving
man.
because every shot.
Oh, that body
Landed
shot.
inside, and Spinks went down. It was the left uppercut.
I was surprised there was a body shot that put him to the canvas.
And that is the first time Michael Spinks has ever been down in a professional fight.
And he's down again and in serious trouble. A right
I don't
hand
think he's
right
gonna get
on
up,
the chin.
guys.
6, 7.
Why even count?
He's not going to make it. It's all over.
Oh, such a classic Mike Tyson.
Now we know why Butch Lewis wasn't anxious for Michael Spinks to fight Mike Tyson in the unification series.
Oh, that's classic. There for you. He took a single shot. Yeah, he was. It was pretty noticeable in that fight. Like that was one of those fights where it's just like, holy cow! You could tell how absolutely nervous Spinks is right now. Yeah, are you not entertained is right.
Given your instructions in your individual dressing rooms, please obey my commands, respect the bell, and above all, protect yourself at all times. Touch gloves. God bless you both.
Steve Smoger is a referee in vogue. He got the Miguel Cotto, Antonio Margarito fight a couple of weeks ago. He's refereed in 4 countries in the last month or so, including a trip to Australia. And he'll let them fight. He's a
when he
throwback
smells blood,
ref
man.
with a couple of throwback fighters.
Yep, he's not a squeamish referee, and that's what we're going to need tonight, because Carl Froch is going to have to declare war, and he wants a referee to allow him.
Only get
to fight his
360.
kind
I'm
of fight.
sorry, boys.
Froch will be coming out for the 200th professional round of his career, and this will be the 73rd he's had at world title level. Ward's only had 50 less, by the way, despite being perceived
different
as the
styles.
younger, fresher man. He is younger.
You know when they
7
say like
years.
styles make fights?
Now,
Like
can
this is a
Froch make an
classic
early
case.
statement, Jim?
Froch's
Sometimes
style
he's a
compared to
slow
Andre
starter.
Ward's.
I think he
Very
realises
different.
he cannot afford to be chasing the fight here.
Froch had a
does
very
have an
classic,
excellent
like,
left
European
jab.
boxing
He doesn't
style
always
compared
make
to
full
Ward.
use of, but he's going to have to do that here. Cannot allow Ward with his speed.
Irish guys
to dictate the
commentary,
pace.
yeah.
He's claiming the
Little
centre
rough.
of the ring. He's pushing Ward back. But Ward is comfortable on the back foot, trying the power shot straight away, Froch.
Punch out. Try to get out yourself.
There you go.
Froch
Best I
fancies
can
he's
do
the
for
man
you.
with the edge in power.
Try to punch out. That's it.
Nice left
Punch
hand
out.
there. The first really significant shot came from Ward.
It was a
clever,
good. It
and
was a
often
good
throws
fight. It was
punches
not a like
leading with the
lopsided
backhand. That's
murder
the hand
fest.
furthest from the target, which is a surprise weapon. But of course, Froch has seen the
Scottish,
tapes.
yeah.
He does know about it.
Yeah, and he also switches to southpaw and leads with the backhand. He's just a little bit quicker at the moment than Froch.
There you go,
Shrek.
Shrek.
Took a surprise Froch with a snap in it. I think Froch was expecting the referee to call break. He didn't, and he took that left hook. Froch is losing his defences a little bit there.
Vital who establishes the jab here. There is a 4-inch reach advantage for Froch, but that might not prove very significant given Ward's speed.
Yeah, Ward finding him with the jab there. It's the left hook, a good right hand, and a jab from Ward. The best punches so far. A decent right hand we've seen back from Carl Froch. It's the speed and the unconventional things that Ward does. But you'll notice already, Ward has not, well, he's taking the centre of the ring. He's not surrendering it to Froch.
Okay, so
quick jab again from Ward.
Yeah. Hearing him most weekends commentating,
to body, but there it is,
hey,
almost. Well,
nothing against it. I love the UK commentary team sometimes, especially when they're fun.
But there's definitely a speed
I don't know if we can
advantage
do
for
Loma
Ward
John. We might get struck for that. I might try it.
Froch as well. You have to do that with awkward opponents. Show a little feint, cause him to make the first move.
See what happens.
Got a clumsy left hook there from Carroll.
Usually the older the better in terms of if I don't get shut down for it. But we might be able to sneak a Loma fight in.
Very clever fighter, quite hard to line up, Andre Ward. I think Mikhail Kessler, who's top class, just couldn't ever really get going against him.
I think Kessler was surprised at the physical strength of Ward. He's not a puncher, but don't go into that ring thinking that he's not
and
tough
you know what?
and strong
To Ward's
and wiry.
credit, I mean,
I think it surprised Kessler, and maybe it's surprising
stayed out of the
Carl
ring
Froch
sense
here.
if
He's
he's
catching the
smart.
jab. His nose is reddening already. You can't telegraph right hands like Froch has just done there.
Ward edging this opening session, that's the impression anyway. Little right hand, it didn't land cleanly. Little half smile played across the lips of Froch at the end of round one.
I think you're right, man. You might be right with that.
Ready for round two here. Don't think they were too happy. Robert McCracken, of course, the trainer in the corner, who'll be working with Britain's Olympic boxers in London next summer. But he's got a big job here tonight. These two have almost done a
You know that Ward did well because when the UK commentator teams are like,
detective of the TV
I think
series,
Ward
they
won
know
that
each
round.
other inside out, these two.
You know,
Froch
he
has
might
to
have
be
done
careful
pretty
he
well.
doesn't tense up in there. Has to keep that little bit relaxed.
Which I love when
so
commentator
the punches
teams
will flow.
are like
Burn up
actually
the
legit.
energy as well if you're a little bit tense. Ward holding Froch's left glove up close. That left hook is working up close. I think they've studied the low guard of Froch.
Which
He's coming
version
back
of Mike
with that
Tyson are you
left
talking
hook.
about, Shrek?
At the end of every exchange, Ward, this is good stuff from Ward. This is eye-catching.
Doubled up with the jab and then found that left hand again. And at the moment, Froch just a
Froch
little
just
bemused
looks
by the talent in front
scared
of him. He's
to throw
a very
his
clever,
hands a little bit
quick-handed
right
and
now.
quick-footed operator, Andre Ward. And Froch can't afford to fall 3 or 4 rounds behind at the beginning
Ward's
of
doing
this.
a good job of changing angles, trying to do different stuff.
Up, and
Froch
he just takes a little
looks
half step back.
a little bit
there,
nervous to throw
Froch
some
has
hands.
to reach or change his mind about throwing the punch.
Oh,
if he reaches, he's
no,
going to be
easy.
countered.
Shrek wins that
I mean,
fight,
he's
no
clever.
problem.
He does a lot of things that are not obvious, Andre Ward, and that's what
Nice
makes
little
him so
body work
difficult
there
to deal with.
from
Good
Froch.
job there from Froch.
That was probably his best one so far. Froch does take time sometimes to get into a contest, but he does have a way of getting it done in the end. But that low slung guard, he's always had it, of course, and he's had a great career with it. But tonight against the speed merchant, will it cost him?
See, Froch can Ward can leap in with punches, and that's the difference between the two. He's out of range and suddenly is sprung in and led with that left hook. Froch can't do that. He has to box his way in behind the jab. Good left hook from Ward.
Froch has to do something here to just break the ring of confidence of Ward, take him to a darker place than he's known before, bust him up, break his rhythm. Harder to do than say.
At the moment,
Oh, I
Froch
know
is
she
trying to
does.
land without being hit,
I'll be
which
in the
is
woods
what
during
this
the
game
day.
is all about. But it might reach the position where he's just going to have to throw caution to the wind a bit more, declare war, and just drag this fellow into a war.
Oh, so next
take punches
Friday,
to land
no
better
classic
ones,
fight night. I'll be
because
in the woods.
he's been outsped at the moment.
Good comeback though there from Froch.
That was good.
Just found, and then getting in with a few body shots.
Oh, good
Clubbed with the
shots
left
right there
hand.
from
Had a
Ward.
Hint to the inside of the glove. I thought about that one from Ward.
That is what Froch has to do, change the tempo. At the moment, the tempo suits Ward. I think he just left it a little bit late to save the round, but a lot of better work from Carl Froch there.
Ooh, Ray versus Hagler.
Well, probably the first 2 rounds to Ward, but were there 1 or 2 signs in the last 30 seconds that Froch was getting a little more to grips with it?
I think you saw when Carl declared war.
Just bump it up a little bit.
He wants Froch to lead. He's waiting for it and countering with his own. You can see him. Carl's a cobra, but at the moment, Froch is behaving like one, just trying to draw that jab so as he can counter it.
Super sharp early, Andre Ward here, and again a 3-punch combination.
Nice.
Class operator.
I know, Shrek. I know it's crazy to think
Froch
that, right?
knows how classy, I think now.
See, traditionally, British fighters are not good at this kind of action up close. The bursts of punches,
Calzaghe
we like
was
to
fun.
do it at long range, work behind the jab, and that's what Carl likes to do. Ward is not allowing it. Oh, lovely left hook again.
Exactly,
He's just
Shrek.
picking some beautiful punches.
But we're not even at the halfway stage yet.
Ooh, good little
And
shot
everybody
there.
thinks this is a likely points decision type of battle. Most of
Calzaghe always had great stamina. Absolutely, I absolutely agree
I
with
think
that.
he wants to knock out
DMP,
Froch,
that's like
we're proving
no
wrong.
question
He
about
said,
that.
You never will knock me out.
It's like he starts getting going, and you're
I
like,
think
okay,
Mikhail
when's this
Kessel
guy
was
going to
shocked
slow
at the
down? It's like
strength up close of
not
Andre
for the
Ward,
next
and I think the same things happen.
10,
happen
12
to the
rounds.
Froch
You
camp.
got to slow down. It's going to be constant.
But I swore I would never again complain about where Carl
He could
his left
have
hand.
fought 15 rounders all day, every day.
But
back in
really,
the
you've
day.
got to get that
But he
left
fought
hand
12
up.
rounders. But still, I mean, he
Fought
could have
again
fought
there.
15
Froch's gone
rounders.
with a couple of his own.
No problem.
Tries to bully Ward, but Ward's having none of that at all. Again, barges Froch up against the ropes, and as if to say, it's almost a macho thing with him, I think, here to make a point to Carl Froch.
And Ward is better at nullifying up close than Carl is. He's like,
Oh,
beautiful
nice
again.
counter.
He's better at the
If
old pro
Froch
tricks
didn't have
than
the
Carl
chin
is.
he
Carl
had,
wants to
man.
stand there and exchange punches.
Like,
Ward is doing
as
the
much
little
as
gymnasium, slightly nasty stuff,
he
if you
could
like.
make things just
He does have this iron shoot,
miserable
though.
for others.
Carl Froch, everything just
His
seems to
chin
bounce
was
off him.
just
He never seems to
unreal.
be dazed. I know Taylor had him down in the 3rd round, but apart from that, these rounds are going in the bank for the American, I think. Hold here.
Well, we're beginning to see he hasn't even been in a close fight in the Super 6 tournament. We're beginning to see why. I mean, this is a terrific performance.
You can see a young Eddie Hearn in the front row, by
Every
the way.
second there, sees exactly what
Bro
Froch
will
is
ban
about
me
to
until
do
after Christmas.
and takes it away from him. Don't quite know
Happens
if
when
I-
you stream
I
on
wouldn't
a
like
Chinese
Robert
company,
McCracken's
I
job
guess.
tonight. I wouldn't know quite what to tell Carl here.
Well, he was telling some of the reporters he's just going to try to walk through walls if he has to get it done.
They're like, bam!
But he's just
Even
been
though you're watching
outsmarted
it on YouTube,
most of the way
and it's fine
so
on
far.
Twitch,
Froch
you
is
know.
trying desperately hard to claw his way back somehow, some way.
But again, he's the one being pushed onto the ropes. Who would have believed this?
Yeah.
And full credit to Steve Smoger, he's left them to it. It's been physical.
I
it's
love
been tough,
Supreme
but he's
Leader
just let them
Winnie
go
the
on with the
Pooh.
job. It's been clean too. Declare war. Forget a boxing match. Caveman style, as I was saying, and I think he's had some success in this round.
He needed that little fillip as well. Been a bit less from Ward in this session.
Ward was really
He's been hit
good.
with an awful lot
I mean,
of shots
he's
tonight.
not.
Carl Froch.
He's
The
not
spirit
someone that
is
you just want to
undying.
watch
It always
all the
will be.
time.
But still not done anything at all about his defence, has he?
It's gone southpaw for the moment.
Like,
Ward there.
You can't watch a
But she
ton
likes
of
the new
Ward
first time
back
we've
to
seen
back
it
to
tonight.
back.
That was the free shot. I mean, at that time, see, Steve Smoger was speaking to them there.
I mean, look at the damage he's done on Froch's face. Not a ton. Not a ton after basically 10 rounds.
Round 10. I would suggest at this point, Carl Froch needs a knockout to win, or loads of knockdowns anyway.
Well, I have it 7 rounds to 2 at the moment, and I don't know if one of those rounds I gave to Froch, I'm being a little bit kind, but I have it 7 to 2 at the moment.
88-83 is your
Typical
card,
Scotsman. I don't know if I'm being a little bit kind with that, but you know.
What you're saying, translated. Froch did a bit better in that last round.
See, I just think Ward is
yeah,
so
yeah,
relaxed.
Froch Groves
So
was
when the
decent
punches
as well.
have to
They
come,
actually
seem
went
to come out
to
of their
war
own
because they
accord,
actually hate
whereas
each other.
Carl's having to force
They
to try
are
and get
one of the
himself
best
close, forced to try and
examples.
get the
Their
punches
press
on
conferences
target.
are some of the best
Everything about
examples
Ward
of like
is just so relaxed.
fighters that
The punches just
legitimately
seem to
do
come
not
from
like each
nowhere.
other. Like there's a whole act in boxing where it's like, I don't like you, I don't like you, and it's just like, that's great and all, but these guys generally, like, with all seriousness, did not like each other. And it was apparent. It was blatantly apparent. In the first fight, and especially in the second fight.
Him, he's out-toughed him at times. Outworked him on the inside as well. There's no shame for Froch, really. He's been a fantastic, really, I think, in his career generally. There's no shame in losing to a fighter this good, if indeed he is going to lose.
And even the little spoiling tactics when he has to do it, Ward knows all the tricks. You know, getting Carl's head under his armpit there. And he's the one stepping back into the breach again.
He's so hard to catch cleanly. His footwork so good. He can skip out of range, just skip back
Froch,
yard.
even though he's losing this fight, it's not because he's getting completely outclassed.
Left hand hardly travels more than 6 inches or so.
Yeah, the couple of rounds that I've given
exactly.
Froch, you know, it's been work rate. It's not
ZMP,
been
I know, yeah.
stuff because you can't hit this guy with quality punches.
They still
He's
keep
too
their
quick.
distance from each other.
Too smooth.
Can he just find one punch to shake up?
Which I get. I get it, man. Sometimes wars and certain fights bring fighters together where they can be friends afterwards, and sometimes they don't. You'll never see, you know, Lennox Lewis and Bo in the same room ever. Ever. And anytime they're in the same room, it's not very pleasant.
Lovely left jab. You can put Andre Ward right in that pound-for-pound argument, I think, on what you're seeing here. He'll have more to prove. Another left hand. Froch has the look at the moment.
I don't think you'll ever, I don't know if you'll be able to ever put like Canelo and Triple G in the same room together. I don't think you'll ever be able to put like Loma and like Teofimo Lopez in the same room together.
Every time he misses you, they take a lot out of him. We know he's gonna swing. Okay, he got to.
You know, like there's just certain fights and certain fighters that just will never ever get along.
But he stopped Ward from being effective for a lot of this round.
I basically glazed over this because this is not a big.
Well, there's Carl Froch's Rachel and Tiffany, the wife of Andre Ward. They've got 3 kids.
The 12th the same way.
And Ward then gave him a little nod as if to say, yeah, decent shot, fantastic respect between them.
Yeah, Floyd and Manny.
If Ward's ever looked,
do they have a basketball game? It's like Manny's too nice.
It's right now a little more tired, I think, from the efforts.
Yep, definitely. Froch is looking much the stronger, maybe for the first time in the fight. The 11 rounds, the signs were there. The gum shield dropping out of his mouth.
What do I think about Kell Brook versus Khan fight finally being done, even though it should have been done over 5 years ago? ZMP, my general take on it, I talked about it on like my boxing news night on Wednesday. My general thought on it is like,
his stupendous efforts, but still finds that great left hook.
It's a fight for casual UK boxing fans that are fans of either guy.
He's finishing.
It doesn't mean anything.
He's incredible.
Ultimately.
He's a man of steel, Froch.
Because both of them had great careers, big wins, big losses. it doesn't change the, trajectory of either guy in terms of like what they are in their career. It's we want to make some money. The money is making sense right now. Let's do it.
I think he's been a wonderful fighter.
And I'll be rooting for Kell Brook.
Of course. Good shot there.
I have a lot of respect for Kell Brook. Kell Brook going after Triple G took huge balls. Huge balls to do that.
Yeah, just a little bit late to do that, Carl.
You know,
of course, Ward can see the
that said, Amir Khan's hand speed in his prime was phenomenal and is something to admire. But he's not the same guy anymore.
So just land one punch, then grab.
Brook, I think, should win the fight.
Trying to buy time, there's no doubt about it. Late on, Ward, but I think
it's a good way for both guys to get paid one last time.
Barring something.
Yeah, it's exactly, Jay. It's bragging rights. It's like absolutely that. It's bragging rights, which I get. I get that.
Punches still at this point in the fight. I don't know the same about Andre Ward.
Like, look, it's not about like who. It's not about at all progressing your career. It's like let's get paid. Let's see who gets the bragging rights.
I'm afraid. I think for Froch. Again, he looks outside the ring and smiles.
But it's good work coming back from him as well.
It's a good eight. If it means about money and everything else, and we get the fight.
Terrific performance.
Like I'm not going to pay for it.
But the trophy will not be going back to Britain.
He's still.
I'm not going to pay for it, but I'm going to watch it probably.
Judges at ringside, John Stewart and Craig Metcalf. Both scored about 115 to 113.
Wow, closer.
Judge John Keane sees about 118 to 110. All three in favor of the winner. He's now the Super 6 World Boxing Classic Champion. He is now the unified WBA and WBC Super Middleweight Champion of the world, Andre S.O.G.
All right. Good fight overall. Let's see what we got. If there's a Loma fight that I want to watch, let me see if I can. I might be able to squeeze in a. There's a couple good ones. Which one do I want? What was the kid's name? I'll know it once I see it. It's one of my favorite fights to watch of Loma. There's a couple in here that are just like incredible to watch. Not that one. Oh, I know what we'll do. We'll do this one, and then Pac-Man versus De La Hoya we did during the Pacquiao one, but we can do that one again. That one's a really tough one to watch. I haven't seen Vet in a while. I don't know where Vet. John, I would recommend instead of the Pac versus De La Hoya, although that's a good beatdown, I think Pac versus Margarito is better. I think that's a better fight. That's a way better fight. Super, super fun to watch. If I have to pick one over the other.
Years old, and his relentless determination has twice taken him the world title opportunities, including a spirited effort just this spring. Came up short, left dejected, but with his aggressive style, he's seen as just the right fit to really push Lomachenko tonight, and he feels he has the answer.
Oh, I love
as
this
he
fight.
readies
This
to
isn't my
make
favorite
the
one,
ring
this is
walk.
one of the best ones.
Lomachenko thinks often about the path
I
he
love
has
this
taken
fight. If
to
you haven't
arrive
seen this
here.
Loma fight,
Not
let me
just
just tell you.
for an anxious wait in the locker
You're in
room
for
to
a
a
treat.
grand entrance here in LA now, but from a
You're
young
in for a
boy
treat
born in
for this
Ukraine
fight.
when it was still part of the old Soviet Union, to all the dreams of boxing riches
This is
coming
like
true.
old.
His mother
love
was a
this
gymnastics
fight.
coach, his
Loma.
father a former amateur boxer. There's mom to the left. 4 years he mastered the traditional Ukrainian dance until he was 13. Then he returned to boxing. And he delivered
Correct.
to his country unprecedented glory, a 2-time Olympic gold medalist.
Oh, that's awesome,
And now
B3,
the
dude.
officials are ready. The fighters
That's
are
actually
in
something
the
you
ring,
should be
and
like.
they
You should
are
absolutely
ready.
be proud
so
of
for
that.
the
I hope you
thousands
kept
in
like the
attendance
ticket stuff for
and
that.
the millions around the world watching live on ESPN. Let's get ready to rumble!
This fight, man.
Introducing first, fighting out of the red corner.
I can watch Loma
Wearing
fights
red, blue,
all
and
day,
yellow,
every
and
day.
officially weighing in at 129.8 pounds. His professional record, 25 victories, including 21 wins by knockout, only 2 defeats. From Cartagena, Colombia, the challenger,
I don't know why they're showing Loma,
Miguel El Escorpión Marriaga.
Dude, very solid fighter.
And
Very,
his opponent
very,
across the
very
ring, fighting
solid
out of the
fighter.
red corner, wearing yellow
That's
with
right.
red. Official weight 130 pounds. He's a 2-time Olympic gold medal champion. And as a professional,
Loma looks
he
like
has
he
8
should be in
victories,
like an
including
Ed
6
Hardy
wins by knockout
catalog right
and
now.
1 defeat. That's a split decision loss. He's recognized by many as among the best in the world, pound for pound. From Akkerman, Ukraine, the 2-time world champion, reigning, defending WBO junior lightweight champion of the world, Vasily High-Tech Lomachenko.
Could you imagine going to these old school Lomachenko fights too? I wish I had gone to these.
Mouthpiece. These are good. These are right at the belt line. I'm going to let them work in here. I gave you both instructions in the dressing room. I want to mind you, listen and obey my commands at all time. Protect yourself at all time.
Yeah, if they have Ugas above Loma, they're idiots.
Lomachenko, who won a world title in just his 3rd pro fight, hasn't happened in boxing in 39 years, who won a 2nd division world championship in his 7th pro fight. That's boxing's all-time record. And now another step forward as he continues to try to reach his goal
it's
of
not
being
like
considered
electrifying at the
the
beginning,
pound
but
for
it gets
pound
pretty
best
good.
in the world.
It's not going to last.
You know, I
12
mentioned earlier that fighters remind me of movies.
And we got Teddy Atlas on
If
commentary.
Lomachenko
So
was a
come on,
movie,
give me
he'd
a
be
break.
The Matrix. He'd be Neo, the guy dodging everything. You can't touch him.
Lomachenko's told us in the fighter meeting he's going to start slow.
And if you don't know, by the way,
He likes to
Loma's
show his
technically
talent.
right-handed.
He likes to just start slow,
He
start
just
smooth,
boxes southpaw.
and then open up later in the fight.
And you know what talent that shows to me, Timmy? His intellect. In other words, he likes to see things, pervade things. He likes to think.
Solve the puzzle. Unlock it. And then finish it.
Oh, Dro, thank you so much for the follow. Appreciate it, man.
You know what I like about Lomachenko? I like the fact that he's directly in front of you. He's not moving around, dancing around, trying to find angles. He's directly in front of you. You think he's in punching range, he gets out of punching range. You think you can hit him, he makes you miss.
If you want to watch, you want to get like really technical with Loma kind of footage, watch his front foot, and look how it's always on the outside almost.
Like a great
almost
in the 80s, Pernell Whitaker.
Like 95% of the time in the fight.
You know, it's interesting. We make so many comparisons.
And it allows him to do so much. Every time.
It
just watches footwork.
But yet,
and that's something that
many
I love
of his
to
punch
do
stats also play to the other side of things. That he can be so skilled offensively. Now, you say a little later on, that's when that comes about.
I'll tell you one of his skills right now. He changes his opponent's mentality. Right now, Mariaga, who usually starts a little faster, is tentative. Why? Because he's afraid of missing.
I like that Loma also just taps you.
Land only 17%
just like, I just want to see if I can hit you. I'm not trying to hurt you. I just want to see if I can hit you.
In the world. Behind
and then he just starts laying into you in like the third, fourth round, and it's just like, oh my God.
Rigondeaux.
In other words, he changes your mentality.
Oh, I agree, Shrek.
He makes you think about not getting hurt.
Like, if you can't appreciate watching some of these fights from Lomachenko, I don't get you.
Mariaga did something that he needs to do and go down to that body. You went down there with the right hand to the body.
It's really high level, and it's really amazing to watch.
That's one way to take some air out of those tires. Those tires of Lomachenko.
See those like little taps? These are just little things of testing. Oh, I'm not trying to knock you out. I'm just trying to like see what I can do to you.
So much pressure on you. He has
and
like having a car just burning
don't
gas
see this stuff
in the middle of the driveway.
There we go. Good body
shot. Left hand to the body there. Perfect range right in front of you to be offensive, yet defensively superb. Flicking that right jab, doubling up that time against Mariaga.
Constantly inching forward, putting pressure on the fighter.
Imagine you see this Loma versus current Teofimo Lopez.
Like that.
Let me just put that out there. That's why when people are like, oh, we don't need to see Lomachenko versus Lopez again.
End of
like,
round number
bullshit,
one.
we don't.
$750,000 he said no, so Lomachenko marches on, and he does so right now with the second round against Mariaga.
I saw that, Shrek. I put it in Discord.
Lomachenko's been bigger lately. Last 3 fights, 129, 130 pounds. While the last 3 fights, Mariaga has been between 125, 126. Basically, a featherweight and a junior lightweight.
Well, Lomachenko's going up in weight because nobody wants to fight him at 126.
As soon as they said it was going to be
nobody
in like that,
this guy will fight him at 130, but
as soon as they said that, I'm like, that's going to be a problem.
Always interesting to get a fighter's first impressions when you're actually in there with Lomo. Bernardo Osuna was listening in to the corner of Miguel.
Yeah, and they said what any corner would say, but this is tougher against Lomachenko because of his skill set. They said, you've got to roll with his punches and then counter with the right. The right is going to be the key to beat this southpaw.
Mariaga was on the floor in his last fight. That might not be too far away.
Loma's not scared at all.
That was a thriller. Entertaining battle back on April 22nd for the featherweight title against Oscar Valdez. He was knocked down in the 10th round from a left hook that you referenced.
Sometimes
look at this. It's just, I'm just touching you. I just want to touch you a little bit and see what you did.
Mariaga might still have that bad memory in his mind. And now he's got the boogeyman in front of him.
I agree, Shrek.
So Lomachenko utilizing the jab a little more here. The wide right hand. Right hand can often be so effective against southpaws if it's shot straight down.
I love when you start to see Loma just toy with
Mariaga right now is fighting the wrong game plan against Lomachenko.
How so, Timmy?
If he wants a chance to win in this fight, he needs to step to Lomachenko, bang him to the body, make it rough and tough, make it an inside fight, and he's bagging up. Every time Lomachenko steps forward, he's bagging up like he's trying to outbox him.
The problem is when Mariaga steps forward, quite often Lomachenko will go back just enough to make him fall
What's
short
interesting is
and
having Teddy and
into a trap.
You know, Timothy Bradley on the same broadcast because Tim learned a lot from Teddy.
Comes forward 6 inches.
So that's why they kind of check each other in the commentary, which is kind of fun.
Lomachenko continues to touch him with that southpaw jab, that right hand.
Oh, Tank versus Loma would be a phenomenal fight. I firmly believe that's a good fight.
So far, very simple.
I think Loma frustrates Tank early, but you gotta respect Tank's power. If you think Tank isn't one of the hardest hitting
final moments of round
pound for
number
pound
2,
guys in the world, I just don't know what to say to you.
36%
for the pound
of his jabs
for the size and for where he weighs in, like Tank's an absolute menace for any fighter.
That's the reason why he was clipped with that right hand. Mariaga stayed low, looped the shot over the top.
I'm gonna pick Loma
and hit him with a clean right hand.
Because I'm going to say that
in that round by
Tank's
Miguel
corner
Mariaga
becomes a
he
mess.
was outlanded 21 to 10.
Floyd starts yelling over his corner,
and for you young fighters out there, that's the benefit.
Tank doesn't have clear
of
instructions on what to
instead
do.
Of one. The left
that's my
misses.
best. That's like
right
a big edge for Loma over Tank. Is Tank does not get good, clear instructions in the corner.
I asked Lomachenko in the fighter meeting. I said,
when you have Floyd Mayweather, the promoter, running up and screaming at you.
And I think what he means by that is he gives a couple of maybe 4 or 5 rounds. He feels
regardless, though, I mean,
wears him down a bit.
It's a phenomenal fight.
Goes in for the kill. He did that against
Salido. No one gets an easy pass with Tank or Loma.
But he also
you got to work for it.
Fight.
Oh, there we
and
go.
It's unheard
There's
of
that footwork.
For anybody in their
There's
second
the
pro
change.
fight to take on that kind of challenge. I mean, it's utterly ridiculous to think that you would face Salido in your second pro fight.
As good as he is, he wasn't quite mentally ready for a tough, rugged guy that was going to take him 12 rounds and was going to cheat a little bit. You know, within the realm of cheating, if there is a realm of cheating. Elbows, pushing, roughing him up, not letting the golden boy have it his way. Yeah. He wasn't quite ready for that. But if it was a couple rounds longer, he wins. He got ready on the job.
This round's a little bit better this round.
Well, he's touching right now. He's touching downstairs with the left hand, trying to set up something upstairs. That's what he does.
I love that right there.
That's where he does his
little jab and walk around.
Stuff. Sleight of hand. Makes you think something's over here when it's really over there.
It's like I'm so in control of distance.
Boy, I'm going to tell you this. He better not mess up on the trick because that right hand is coming close.
The right hand is the punch you like to use against the lefty. Lomachenko is a lefty. Right hands can be the southpaw killer.
Beautiful footwork.
But if I was Mariaga, I would actually throw that right hand to the body as opposed to Charles constantly trying to...
First knockdown score to the night.
Oh, here we
by
go.
High Tech.
This is. Yeah, get ready, Shrek. You ready?
He says,
come on over.
I'm going to sit right here in this neutral corner. You come to me. Look at this. Loma waving him in.
Come on, man.
From Mariaga dancing in his face.
He's the spider telling the beetle, come on in.
Boy, oh boy, is he entertaining. He says, let's make a fight of it. Knockdown scored, antics played.
And scores a knockdown.
Oh, maybe we watched the Loma Sosa fight after
legs
this.
And punch,
I don't know.
a 10-8 round.
That's a really fun
Straight
one.
left hand that puts Mariaga down. As you see the CompuBox numbers.
The Sosa fight was
punches
another really
in that third round. 41% landed by the champ.
Listen, if the truck hears me, look at their feet a little bit. I'm going to tell you, this guy is so calm.
Oh, Shrek. Oh, you'll love.
I mean,
you'll eat this
but he's
up.
doing anything that's available to him. He takes his right foot, the lead right foot, and he steps on the lead left foot of his opponent, knowing that he's going to trip him up, knowing that when he throws something at him, he's going to try to pull back. And guess what? He can't pull back. He gets caught with the left uppercut.
Such a sharp, accurate punch by Lomachenko moments ago with that left uppercut.
At this point, he's playing with his food.
Joe, watch the
Look at it. Putting his face right out there, lowering his guard defensively. Just
come on, man.
Mariaga.
Well, that's being Frank Sinatra a little bit. He can croon, he can hit the high notes, but he also knows how to woo a room.
Oh, he's discouraging. I think he's just trying to discourage Mariaga and let him know I can do anything in this ring.
Absolutely.
He's not fighting a bum, by the way.
Trying to do.
He's fighting a former
his will
champion
with both speed, defensive prowess, every which way.
And spirit.
You got it. Touching him. Some pity pat and then some power punches. Remember, he lands 51% of his power punches, number 3 among all-time active fighters.
And he doesn't let you breathe.
Right on top of you each and every time, Teddy.
On you, like that old saying, like a cheap suit. He ain't so cheap, though.
No, he's not. Took an angle right there and landed the right uppercut. Took that angle to the left, and there was a clash of heads that Jack Reese is going to peek at both men, see if there's any damage. And there is blood now coming from the left eye of Vasily Lomachenko.
That's the first time Lomachenko has been cut since his pro debut. He had a small
Every time
cut
I hear Teddy Atlas doing commentary, I immediately think of
under his left eye. Also from a head clash.
Oh, dude,
I can tell you this.
Just wait.
He's going to be upset when he goes in the dressing room tonight. Because he
I
says
don't
that
know.
he grades his performance on how he looks after his fight. He got a cut over one eye, and he has a little welt over the other eye. He won't be happy tonight.
It's a near slip near that blue corner. Could be some ice or water. What an accurate right hand getting around that guard of Mariaga. Lomachenko picks up the pace for just a moment here. Closing moments of round number 4. Clash of heads has caused a cut around the left eye of Vasily Lomachenko. He fights on, doubles up that left hand, goes to the body, then shoots it upstairs.
Well, it could be an accident. I'm not in his mind, so I'm not the jury here. But I'm just going to say, when you're frustrated and you get to the place where you're at the cliff of hopelessness, sometimes you try anything, even a headbutt. It looked like he threw that head forward. Either way, a cut on the left corner of the eye for Lomachenko.
Teddy Atlas put Loma on a pound-for-pound list after his second fight.
Went back, hit the ropes, and bounced off the ropes.
It was either his first or second fight.
Yeah, you can catapult yourself. You can hit that rope and then you can bounce off it accidentally on purpose. Or maybe just accidentally.
Look at how he's able to follow Mariaga and place those punches. Mariaga now.
This is where you got to go the body. No, that's where you got to go the body. Look, very hard to give it the merit to Lomachenko. He's as close to flawless as we have in his business right now.
I love
but
that.
right there, the head's moving, the body's stationary. Go downstairs, put some water in the basement. Take that head movement away.
Straight right hand from the tough Mariaga. Veteran contender from Colombia.
Hey, even Neo in Matrix every once in a while made a mistake.
Never knockdown was scored in round number 3.
So there's that little trick we talked about, or we showed in the breakdown on film earlier, where Lomachenko was switch to his right and throw the left hand.
As you said, Timmy, every which way he can dominate you, including the mental side of things. This is a fighter in complete control each and every time he's out there. Touching him to the sides, then goes to the head. Now creating just a little bit of space is the southpaw.
He's not just touching him, he's using throwaway punches. Throwaway punches that he doesn't care whether or not they land in any kind of definitive way. They set up something on the back end.
Like the master teacher he is, Teddy, right?
And it keeps Mariaga's hands at home, to where he can bang on him and step around him and get on those angles.
Mariaga trying to chop down.
I agree, Jay. I agree.
That's where he needs to go, downstairs to the body.
I just feel like you need a lot of high-level consistency to even try to beat Loma. And Tank, although I think Tank's really good, I just feel like he's going to get confused in the corner.
Some looping shots every once in a while when Mariaga puts those earmuffs on, because you can go around the ear with shots.
End of 5.
The camera's not on. When that inside camera's not working, or when the parent's not watching.
I don't think he's a one-hit wonder.
That's what he
The
will
one
do.
thing I will say is he said he doesn't want tune-up fights. He doesn't want to have like, stay busy fights. He wants to fight champions.
You know, this is boxing.
If that's true,
just takes one punch that you don't see.
Kambosos
is
beatable
at the wrong time and get clipped. And this,
but I appreciate what he's trying to do and the way he's talking right now. It's actually very respectable.
Play those antics.
He's making me a fan day by day, honestly.
He's always out of that danger zone.
If he wants to go for top level,
he knows
he's talking about the winner of JoJo versus Haney. He's going to be at the fight. Look, if neither one of those guys, depending on who wins, takes that fight, Lomachenko absolutely wants the fight
title on the line for Vasily.
With Kambosos. Now it's tough because it's through Ludabella, so that makes it really tough. Again, still,
being in a place where you're watching a match,
everyone's like frothing at the mouth to fight him.
Wants you to follow.
So let's see what happens. I mean, he's not as easy a touch I thought as much as I thought he was.
There's a little bit of a trick of hand, sleight of hand, where you can't see where the trick's coming. What he'll do a lot of times, Lomachenko, he'll move to the side. Instead of turning with him, act like you're going to turn. Get him to come back in front of you. And nail him when he comes back in front of you.
Mariaga finding himself off balance for a moment, and look at Lomachenko again. And now a little ollie shuffling back to business.
Could you imagine someone doing that to you?
All these things are great. I mean, he looks great. He's possessing, he's wowing the crowd and everything. But I just turn it up. I want to see, he got all them skills in the world. Turn it up on this guy.
I think it's only a matter of time before he does, Timmy.
But Timmy, the one thing that he doesn't have, he doesn't have hydrogen in his
Like I said, I can watch this stuff all
That's
day.
the one place he hasn't been gifted. Not a huge puncher. He wants to break you down. He knows what his strength is. And I hate to use this word, but he might even know what
you
his
know who I'm
going to
be playing on for like
kind of like the
Street
Clint
Boxing.
Eastwood movie. You know, man,
if they treat him right.
Coach, he's a bully. He loves beating on people.
That's what he's doing here at the end of 6, Timmy.
He's a bully.
He can back it up.
He's picking up the pace there. Strafing attack, landed that right hand that time.
Look, he's being forced to do it on the front end with an opponent who's just trying to survive right now. If he has to do it on the back end, back up and counter, he can do it.
6 dominating rounds in the books for Vasily Lomachenko to try to grab all 4 against Crawford. Gonna be a good one.
Yeah, I mean, the difference with Crawford is number 3 on my pound-for-pound list. Lomachenko number 1,
it's
Ward
super
number
stacked.
2. 2 and 3, very close. I mean, that's a great compliment just to be that high.
I agree, Jay.
But for me, Crawford,
I mean, Kambosos is great, and I appreciate his style. But if he did that against Tang,
he just goes about
he'd
it
be
a
on his
different
ass.
way. But he has more power.
If he did that against
more physical
Loma, he'd be on his
presence
ass.
than Lomachenko. Lomachenko just has more dimension.
You know, like, you can't fight like that for everyone.
Number 2
Even
on my
a
pound-for-pound
Devin
list.
Haney.
You know, Andre Ward.
If Devin Haney looks as good as he did at the beginning of the Linares
you
fight,
see right now
can't do that.
That can turn southpaw, knock you out in southpaw position, turn right-handed or orthodox, knock you out in that position as well.
God.
He's the only guy right now in boxing that's doing that. That's the reason why.
By the way, this is exactly what I showed my wife when she was like, I want to see what you talk about like in boxing. I'm like, okay, let me show you a little bit about boxing.
He's a freak. That's why he can move.
It was
up
literally
so
like, let me just like show you what high-level boxing looks like. And it was a couple different people.
From Lomachenko here now.
And Loma, this kind of fight with Loma was
with that
one of
right
them.
hand to follow. Trying to split the guard. Goes around, doubles up the left hand. Comes back, 2 uppercuts on the inside now.
Can anybody say demoralizing?
That is it, isn't it, Teddy? If you're Mariaga, what could you possibly be thinking right now?
Of course.
I want out.
Every which way you are outclassed. And keep in mind, Mariaga's a 2-time title challenger.
I think what you're thinking right now is what my great mentor Customato used to say, a different line of work.
God.
Good body shot, backs him up. Good body shot again. The uppercut comes, wraps around the guard with a right hand. Lomachenko in prime form here in the 7th.
We're going to see what happens. Hopefully, Top Rank doesn't
getting a little closer.
See what happens.
Putting his eyes on Mariaga.
Chopping down with a right hand. Left uppercut just off the mark. Mariaga's taking damage. Lomachenko right
like
uppercut
everyone's just
that
like
time.
this.
Look, let's give a little credit
Tito
to
Ortiz,
Mariaga here.
the
A lot
goat.
of those punches are missing. A lot are being thrown, but a lot are missing. Two reasons why he's still there.
That better,
One
Mini?
is because he is moving his head. He is surviving. And the other, he's got the heart of a fighter.
Vasily settles in for just a moment, creates some range. Let's see if he goes on the attack in these last 20 seconds.
See, it's not just
Top
about
Rank
the
has
technical
some
moves,
really
the
annoying
physical
commentary.
abilities. It's about the calmness. You have to be very calm to see the things in that ring in an uncalm place that Lomachenko sees.
Bolo's up that left
I
hand
know,
before
Jay.
firing off, and a knockdown scored with a sweeping punch from Vasily.
Thankfully, this fight's already on someone else's channel, so I know it's okay.
With a second to go in the round, Lomachenko scored the second knockdown of his night.
No mas.
That is it. Fight is over. Mariaga will take no more.
All right. Now that we got that one done, let's see. There's one fight in particular. I'm trying to think of the kid that he fought that he just, I mean, was just. Oh, here it is. Here it is. I don't know how much you guys want to see this.
All right,
one,
here we go.
but
The
this
city in
one
the
is-
white trunks with the gold trim. In the red and green is Romulo Kosikchak.
This kid, hold on, let me find a better quality one. Not the top quality. This fight is just brutal. We'll do Sosa. Sosa's a better fight. It's a little bit more competitive. And there's some bad blood there, so.
Against Jason Sosa. And you can see that they are both 29 years old. Lomachenko with a 2-inch height advantage. 1-inch arm length advantage, armpit to the end of the fist. They weighed in at 129.5 Lomachenko, 130 Sosa. And overnight, Jason Sosa has rehydrated up to an unofficial 3-pound working weight advantage over
HBO,
Lomachenko
I know
as he
HBO can't
goes
sue me now
into
because
the ring.
HBO's not even doing boxing anymore. So,
Jason Sosa didn't
back
begin
when
boxing
HBO was so
until
good.
he was 21 years old. Just 8 years later, he now stands ready to take on one of the sport's elite talents. We spoke to Sosa about.
I used to love HBO.
You know what?
I was trying, and then he was trying to get me with the big
This is
shot.
back when
but
Loma couldn't
he
even speak
wasn't,
English all that well.
Successful.
Like at all.
is
Had
just
used
turning it
translator.
into a boxing lesson.
I think I overdid a little bit. You know, I was getting really physical with him, and I was pushing him around too much.
Oh my God! I mean, he's toying.
We'll
Was
do
a
Nicholas
head spinner for
Walters
almost
next.
everybody.
That's a
And
good
now-
one too.
World, ladies and gentlemen.
Unless you guys oppose,
As
let
the
me know.
greatest amateur fighter in boxing history, winning 396 fights with only one defeat.
Story.
This guy's not experienced, but he is. And this is going to be really telling the next couple of rounds who really dictates the pace and continue to be mentally focused.
Philadelphia promoter Russell Peltz, promoter for Jason Sosa, longtime veteran of the sport, clearly one of the ranking boxing historians among all the people you'll find at ringside in present-day era, scoffs at the notion that, as Michael Buffer said, and I have said, that Lomachenko is widely regarded as the greatest amateur in history. Russell points out, hey, Laszlo Papp of Hungary won 3 Olympic gold medals, and that's true. But Papp did not win 396 out of 397 amateur fights. And it's not visible to us now. So maybe there's a natural, immediate presence
The
or
flame work,
prejudice
the green
before
flame work.
Lomachenko.
No,
Classic.
and anyone who wins
who loses 1 out of almost 400 amateur fights and wins 2 gold medals, is on a short list for greatest amateurs of all time.
Agreed. Absolutely.
Yeah.
And Russell just, I wouldn't be fair to Russell if I did not quote what he said.
I agree, Jay.
Never really gave it a go.
There's a great video about that, actually.
And being from Philadelphia, I have to at least agree with Russell just to keep the things.
Because he's from Philly.
He's from Philly.
But Lomachenko is attempting to also become one of the greatest pros ever, and there have been very few careers that have been this good, this fast.
Lomachenko is smart. The last few fights I watch, he takes his time, but not to the point where he let the other guy get in a rhythm. He's still moving his feet. That's important through this fight. It's going to be the movement of positioning where he fires when he stops.
No, that's a great point. He's not looking for first-round knockouts. He's not really looking
just
for
trying
knockouts.
to rough him
He's
up a
looking
little bit,
to win
trying
the
to
round
make sure he lands
in the best way he can, and builds
not be
a
an easy
rhythm
target.
that continues to grow over the course of the fight, no matter how many rounds it goes. Great
Goodbye shot.
up and under left by Lomachenko. Momentarily knocked Sosa back into the ropes.
Oh, Sosa heard that punch, and he also felt it. Lomachenko has really an accuracy and legs and foot combination because he continued foot-hands combination because he continued to throw punches based on the movement and the angles that he wound up being at.
Goodbye shot.
Sosa looks to be in sensational shape, Bernard. Are his muscles too tight?
I think he's a little tight. I think he's also muscle-bound, which can also be a negative as the round goes, if it goes deep into rounds, because
if
the
Paul
marks come
loses,
heavy.
I lose my identity.
If you had picked a winner in Bozdik versus Gonzalez before the fight, you would have said, oh, look at Gonzalez's upper body. He's built like a battleship.
You lose your identity.
But
leaner.
Yes, but anybody in boxing that knows the sport, you know, muscle-bound don't necessarily mean quick.
But tall
power.
kid, I mean,
it just
tall
means you
kid
got a
will
good beach
just
body to get everybody saying, ooh, ah.
All over the
Lomachenko
world
putting together
telling
some
them I
good
told you
combinations
so.
in round 1, landing that excellent left hand that knocked Sosa back into the ropes. Sosa didn't really bother Lomachenko that much in the round. Lomachenko sometimes will focus on working his jab. Sometimes he'll step inside and show you how well he fights at close range. Changes it up from time to time. Jason Sosa wants to get close.
Getting close for Sosa is really a good thing, but he must not stay close and not punch. He has to stay active once he's inside, because if he don't, Lomachenko will counter, and he also would spin him and be on the angles and throw many combinations that Sosa would not be able to handle.
Lomachenko is one of those fighters
You're not being
who has
Shrek
so many,
or
oh
tall
my God,
kid
did you
not
see that
being
move?
right.
Like a rapper with punchlines where you got to keep rewinding because they're coming so fast
Think
at you.
tall
You
kid
don't
not
remember.
being right, possibly.
You can't keep up with them all. And real boxing heads always have a special affinity for that kind of fighter. And already
the
you hear
hours, correct.
the
hours
fight fans.
tall
He's
kid
the,
has
he's the educated
come
fight
in
fan's
with
favorite
just
fighter in attack him
random
very quickly.
Lomachenko thought he got hit low, but he really caused that to be on his own
It's all
fault
gone.
because he pulled Sosa's head down with his right hand as Sosa was coming in, which made Sosa throw a punch that he couldn't see where it was going.
Regardless, he backed up, he stared at Kenny Chevalier as if to say that was a low blow. Chevalier stepped forward and said something to Sosa. So in effect, Lomachenko ruled it a low blow.
Yeah, well, if he wanted to be the referee and the fighter,
Tall
then
kid's
Sosa
right
has
and
an
I'm wrong.
opportunity now to capitalize on a distraction
Hey, if tall kid's right, I'll have
that
to be
Lomachenko
somewhat
might be
happy
facing. But,
because
you know, right now,
Tommy's
the spin
furious
move,
as
I just said it earlier, he's going to continue to get on
It's a
angles.
joke
He's
as
just
well.
looking for position, let those hands go.
But it's kind of one of those double-edged swords.
Until the pretty recent past, you didn't see fighters who weren't American fighters fight the way Lomachenko fights.
Good straight left hand.
Not even Pernell Whitaker?
Right. I mentioned
I
Roy
can't
Jones. I
have
mentioned
the Canadian
Floyd
be
Mayweather,
right.
Pernell Whitaker. These are who are top athletes who, especially in Whitaker and Mayweather's case, because they weren't big punchers like Roy,
but Mayweather
also had to rely on honing their craft. So they were both extremely athletic and extremely skilled.
But Mayweather and Pernell was sort of like Matrix, like, you know, Roy was just reflexes.
Right.
I mean, not just reflexes. He had power too, but he had reflexes and instincts.
Yep.
Bernard Hopkins got a pretty good
Here we
close
go.
look at Roy Jones twice.
Only round
Better
two,
look at
by
him
the
the
way.
second time. Body shots landing.
Only round 2.
Combination upstairs. Another combination upstairs. Lomachenko, too much hand speed.
Too much hand speed and too much feet position. Look where his feet is being positioned. And that's important because he's firing
Bernard
off those
Hopkins
angles,
super annoying in
Sosa
this
can't handle it.
So Lomachenko opened up a little bit more in the second round and landed more in the second round. May 6th, don't miss the pay-per-view showdown
Long
between fellow
round.
Mexican superstars Canelo Alvarez.
We all know what
and
happened
Julio
with that
Cesar Chavez
fight.
Jr. from the
Look,
T-Mobile
this is
Arena
how
in
old
Las
this fight
Vegas.
is.
2 weeks later,
Alvarez
Crawford
versus
returns to the
Chavez
ring to defend
Jr.
his 140-pound title against
And we know how
2008 gold
this
medalist
fight went
Felix
as
Diaz
well.
of the Dominican Republic. That fight is now in Madison Square Garden. And just announced this week, the June 17 rematch between Andre Ward and Sergey Kovalev. Ward scored a controversial decision win over Kovalev last November.
This is how old
Ward
these
versus
fights
Kovalev will be brought to you by HBO pay-per-view. That's the summit of the light heavyweight division. The new face in the light heavyweight division,
I miss
Alexander
HBO.
Zvozdik, just got a tremendous knockout win over Yunieski Gonzalez tonight.
When you see the replay, you will see that
brutal
Lomachenko pulled his head down, but it was only because
he did push him down.
Sosa didn't see the left hand or the right hand pulling his head down and he threw a punch. It wasn't his fault, but it looked like a low blow, but it wasn't.
But when a royalty fighter like Lomachenko stands back and gives an imperious look like that to Kenny Chevalier, the referee, Chevalier felt compelled to say something.
Well, if you see the fist land in the middle of the groin, a lot of times you're going to get that call anyway.
Yeah, but it was because Lomachenko's pulling him in, and that, you know, Sosa didn't see
The real
because he
pound
couldn't
for
see
pound
because
number
he was
one.
face down,
Oh my
really being pulled face down, even though he didn't fall.
God,
But he see what he was punching.
Lomachenko's defense, not only upper body defense, but obviously also with his legs, also picking off shots with his arms, positioning his head where he knows his
Well, a few
opponent
times
can't
me
reach
and
him,
Max Kellerman
and then
disagree on
uses
stuff.
defensive position to get offense off in combinations. He's not a
Very
devastating
rare.
puncher, but
Very
he's not a
rare
light
for
one
us
either.
to agree
But he's
on
definitely
anything.
an accurate and a consistent puncher, and that's sometimes.
I do and I don't.
Fight is going to be really, really a factor because he's not throwing hard punches for
Because
one or two. He just threw a
to be an
combination
all-time
of
great
two
like his
punches,
dad,
left
that's like
hand,
a
right
tall
hand.
order.
And he's
But
moving just enough to
to
get
be
away
the
with
bum
being
he
ranged to
became is
counter.
all on him.
Jason Sosa got in a hard right hand to the body. A couple of exchanges ago, one of his better punches in the fight so far. Lomachenko tried to retaliate to the body. Now he's back to moving and giving those footwork equations to Sosa as he goes from one side of the ring to the other.
Harold Letterman, the last time we saw Lomachenko dismantle Nicholas Walters, who's a top fighter, compared him to Willie Pep, except Willie Pep didn't have this offense.
Watch Lomachenko start throwing those uppercuts from the left
Willie
to the right
Pep.
because Sosa's leaning forward over his lead leg, and the uppercut would be just the right punch to time Sosa leaning in.
Tries the left uppercut right there.
Pep, great featherweight, one of the greatest fighters who ever lived, but rarely stopped anyone. Lomachenko's, he makes you pay. The defense gets you out of position. He makes you pay with that offense.
And he makes you fight not to get knocked out more than just win the fight. And Sosa's starting to be pressured mentally to not try to get either knocked out or knocked down. And he's trying to avoid that right now.
Lomachenko gave Sosa a lot of credit for taking the fight.
Just wait, Shrek.
Sosa had the
Just
option
wait.
of going
It's
to
gonna get really good.
Panama to fight Jezreel Corrales.
Save your
for a
dogs for the
WBA
next
title.
round or so.
But he and his promoter, Russell Peltz, didn't like the idea of having to fight on Panamanian turf against a Panamanian fighter. And they chose this instead.
If you look at Lomachenko, he takes those steps to the right and to the left, sort of like Mike Tyson used to do to set up his punches from the right or left.
Good job, damn it. Very good job.
Oh, Twitch emojis are
Good job.
awesome. That's one thing that Ludwig has talked about
Very
is
good
like
job, baby.
transferring that stuff
So
and
the difference
making
there,
sure there's
he can't fight when
extensions
you
for
pressure
that
him.
stuff.
If you don't pressure him, he does whatever he wants. We're in very good condition here. All right? I want you to press him all the time. Okay, you understood? Okay, yes. You got to be more effective now. Let's work the body, eh? Work the body. Don't forget it. Work the body. It's very important. Touch him. Uppercut on the middle, all right? With the right uppercut. When you're in front of him, move. Move the head.
Jason Sosa's mother, Carmen, and his brother, John, making the trip down from Camden, New Jersey. And you heard his trainer, Raul Rivas, saying to him in the corner, good job, you're doing the right things. But through 3 rounds, he's averaged 7 landed out of 31 thrown, and Lomachenko has much bigger numbers. Harold, how do you have it 3-3?
Just pointing that shit out.
3-0, 30-27, Vasily Lomachenko. You know, Jim, he's just incredible. I mean, the movement, the boxing, the
right hand by Jason Sosa. Go ahead.
Yeah, the right hand, the combinations. I mean, yeah, lands a million punches. I think the guy's a fabulous boxer. There's no question. I think Sosa, the only way Sosa can win this fight is if he nails him. I mean, he's got to land something really big. You know, he's trying like heck to land something really big. If he does, you know, he might get lucky and put Lomachenko away, but I doubt it very much. 3-0, Vasily Lomachenko.
Any young guy out there need to learn something from boxing with a jab. Look at Sosa's left eye. His left eye is starting to swell. And Max, let me tell you, that came from jabs early in the round. From the beginning to the fight, Lomachenko comes out and throws straight lefts and straight rights that really, really put a damage on Sosa's eye.
And so Harold brought up how Sosa only chances to nail Lomachenko. And
you're never going to be your
no
dad.
kidding. That could happen to anyone. It's specific to Lomachenko because you're not going to hit him with 2 in a row. A truly great defensive fighters, anyone can get hit.
There's so many avenues
if you hit him, it's with 1 shot. You ain't going to hit him with the follow-up. So you better make that 1 shot count.
Like, no one made him be a fighter.
And he's working the body. Lomachenko is
could have
working
been
the
a
body
promoter.
right now. And it's just really now target practice.
And then he's
he's
just done
breaking
stuff
the
on
will
social media
of
that makes
Sosa.
it
You can
so
see that he's starting to feel the pain of every punch that's being thrown from Lomachenko.
If you watch boxing long enough, you gradually come to the realization power is glamorous and power is
Next,
impressive,
Muhammad Ali,
but accuracy
because
is
he's
way
related
more
to-
important. If you land the punch right on the guy's nose or right on the chin over and over, he's going to go away, regardless of how hard a hitter you are.
Accuracy is beautiful because it's coming in rapid fire, and Lomachenko is constantly moving left, right, blocking
Jason
punches with his
Sosa,
elbows,
to his
smothering
credit,
punches.
man,
I
is
mean,
just
he's
trying
doing
to do
everything
work.
that a pound-for-pound fighter do when they at the top and represent that position. Look at that move.
Wait. You guys see that footwork? Hold on. I'm going to do a little rewind. Try not to do this too much on fight night, but like, watch this footwork.
Constantly moving left, right.
It's
blocking
insane.
punches with his elbows, smothering punches.
He ends up
I mean,
on
he's
the
doing
backside
everything
of
that a pound-for-pound
freaking
fighter
Sosa like
do
it's nothing.
when they at
Right
the
here.
top and represent that position.
How?
Look at that
How?
move just now.
How do you do that?
He gets over to the side where the other fighter is completely out of position, and at that point he's at Lomachenko's mercy.
And does it so well that sometimes it looks as though he's the one who's stepping out of position. And then you realize he went to exactly where he wanted to go.
He just hit Sosa with a straight left hand that's stunning for a split second.
That,
and that's the
Jake's
punch I
only,
think he's going to
you know,
continue to try to
popular
slip
because
in
of his
there
brother.
when Sosa coming forward.
Oh.
Typical
I think that
Lomachenko
fact
fight.
that Tommy
Increasingly
said that
one-sided
about
through the first 4
like,
rounds.
Jake
Jason Sosa
is
looking to
sad
land something
because
big and
the only
seeming
reason anyone
sometimes to
cares
come
about
close.
Tommy is because of
But
his
all in
brother.
all, Lomachenko landing many more punches. April 24 will kick off the countdown to the May 6th super fight between Canelo Alvarez and Julio Cesar Chavez Jr. With Canelo Chavez, a fighting tradition, which offers a look at the 2 Mexican superstars against the backdrop of hailing from the world's most passionate boxing culture. April 29, the countdown continues.
I don't even know what
Canelo
who's
Chavez
Tommy's girlfriend,
as
to
both
be honest.
fighters join Max Kellerman for a
I
face-to-face
just know Tommy
interview
was
in
on a
advance of their
reality
upcoming
show,
pay-per-view
and that's
showdown. You've already heard Max tell
probably
you
because of his
it was
brother.
intense.
Throw the hooks to the body, okay, baby? Come on. Be away. I don't want you against the rope.
I don't know who that
If
is.
you're on the rope, you got to work, but you got to get out of there. Ropes.
We go to the 5th round of a scheduled 12. Vasily Lomachenko defending his 130-pound crown against Jason Sosa. Referee Kenny Chevalier asked Sosa's corner to take some of the grease off his face.
Plastic
and here we
girl?
go. And you can see total punches landed. Lomachenko more than tripling Sosa so far. Straight left hand
apparently
by
she's
Lomachenko.
done
Borges Sosa has
some
a good
dirty
chin because
videos
he got
or
hit
something.
just now with a right hook, but he also got hit before that with a straight left hand.
Lomachenko, you
So
can
he's
hit him
dating
here
a
and there.
porn star.
And that's because unlike the great Cuban boxing master Guillermo Rigondeaux, who uses his boxing to neutralize his opponent and doesn't make a move unless everything is perfect, Lomachenko will take more risks. So he can be hit occasionally cleanly. But that's because he's looking to get off his own offense.
That's what happens in the UK sometimes.
It's a fighter reminded me
really
of
famous
Prince
for
Nazim when he had those thick legs. He had those legs that he
little,
could move. Even though
recognition.
Lomachenko legs is not as big as Prince Nazim, but he used his movement. He used his legs. He had strong bottom. He had a strong bottom to be able to move and pivot like he did.
But he doesn't swing from the fences the way Nazim Ahmed did.
No, he's definitely accurate more than Prince Nazim, but the foot movement,
It's
the
so
position,
that Jay,
and
that's
the
actually
strength
very true.
from the bottom puts him in position to do this.
Tremendous left-hand body
Look at
shot
this.
by Lomachenko.
You want to watch
This
this
right-hand body
absolute
shot.
beat
That
down.
hook to the body took it out of him.
Phenomenal.
This is my
It made him
favorite
stand
part right
still.
here.
Sosa he just stands still, and right now he's just fighting off a
Right
heart.
here.
He's just trying to figure out where can he get a time to punch, and where is he going to be when he punch.
Guys, Gary Russell Jr. is really, really good. He maybe won 2 out of 12 rounds against Lomachenko. Nicholas Walters was beating the hell out of guys. Never came close to losing and quit against Lomachenko because he was being humiliated. And here, Jason Sosa's a solid guy. He hasn't won a moment
I
of the
love
fight.
this
He's
moment
being
right here.
completely undressed.
This
Hey,
last
Sosa's
little
right
bit of
across
this
the bridge
round
from Philadelphia.
is the
pretty
best.
sure he stopped in Philadelphia through more than one time to be able to go in and get that experience, and also in Jersey. So no, he's not going to quit. This fight won't be end because he quit. He's going to fight to the end.
I guess it can't be any worse than cooking pizzas 14 hours a day.
I'd rather be cooking pizzas.
Which is what brought Jason Sosa to boxing.
Well, I think he'd rather be here than doing pizza because he has the heart of a lion, and he's going to continue to try to get something out of this.
Body shot.
That was the 22nd power punch landed in the round, and now we're getting close to the 30.
Well, a lot of those punches are being missed, Jim. A lot of those punches being caught on the arm, and look at Sosa come back. He's coming back to try to get
a lot of heart.
He got a lot of heart because he's not full in his tank yet. Not yet.
Oh.
He wanted more. He said, come on. Not a smart way to fight, but he asked for more.
Oh, my God. That fucking looked like I just pieced you up. That looked like I just pieced you up. You want some more? Okay, here we go.
All right, very nice. Put some water on his head.
Come on.
Breathe.
This is when it gets really fun. This is the rounds that gets really fun.
When you make it to a dog fight, you see how you become better.
Hold on.
Two things are gonna happen. Whether we don't knock him out, I fucking.
Not a smart way to fight, but he asked for more.
I guess it can't be any worse than cooking pizzas 14 hours a day.
I'd rather be cooking pizzas.
Which is what brought Jason Sosa to boxing.
Well, I think he'd rather be here than doing pizza because he has the heart of a lion, and he's going to continue to try to get something out of this.
25 seconds
That was
left.
the 22nd power punch landed in the round, and now we're getting closer to 30.
Well, a lot of those punches are being missed.
You're just
Jim.
getting
A lot of those punches
pieced
being caught
up.
on the arm, and look at Sosa come back. He's coming back to try to get
a lot
it.
of heart.
He got a lot of heart because he's not full in his tank yet. Not yet.
That right there, that combination.
That landed.
He wanted more. He said, come on. Not a smart way to fight, but he asked for
Oh,
more.
my God.
Got a lot.
This is an excellent, not only right, but the left is coming because of Sosa coming straight. And Sosa coming with his hands down and heads up, and that's why he got hit with that combination.
Dude.
He must now keep his hands up where he won't get countered when he come in.
The really interesting thing about
Sosa's
Lomachenko
trying
to
to
me
keep
is
his hands up and do that.
boxing's been around
that
in an
shell
organized
kind
way
of
for well over 100 years at this point.
shelled style of
you
defense.
think that you've seen it all, and then you see just new iterations or permutations of stuff
Greg,
you've
I
already
have
seen.
some videos for
I
you.
can't
Not
think
at
of
this,
anyone.
not at this level.
I can't think of anyone.
You don't win
quite
400.
Like Lomachenko.
Here we go.
He's showing us something new.
With the fights that he had on his resume,
I
you
love
think
this
he's been
part.
around a long time, and he hasn't.
And now because Jason Sosa talked trash to him at the end of the last round, Lomachenko
let me do it again.
Showboat.
Oh, that's
Putting
one
on
of
a
the
show.
best,
Coming
dude.
straight. And Sosa coming with his
Hold
hands down
on,
and
the
heads up.
Matador. When he
seen,
did the
but
Matador
I
on
can't
him.
Not
think
at
of
this-
anyone.
not at
Oh,
this level.
God,
I can't
that's
think of
so
anyone
freaking
quite
frustrating.
Like Lomachenko. He's showing us something new.
With the fights that he had on his resume, you would think he'd been around a long time, and he hasn't.
And now because Jason Sosa talked trash to him at the end of the last round, Lomachenko is showboat. Putting on a show. First, he imitates Jason Sosa, throwing wild shots. Then he steps inside Sosa's gloves and hits him with clean shots. Sosa gets in a right hand, one of his better punches. But Lomachenko was given credit by CompuBox for landing 42 punches in the 5th round.
But Lomachenko better not get too confident and
Oh,
too
my
relaxed
God.
because Sosa looked like he throwing some heat on that right hand.
He is. He's still trying to win the fight, and he can punch, and he's not giving up.
I mean, he's a tough, tough guy. There's no secret about that. And he's going to try to do anything he can do to get back in this fight. But I think he should work on now the jab and not stay so close where he can get countered. Because, you know, Lomachenko's doing the matrix on him. He's throwing 4 or 5 punches, working the body and working the head. The only way he can stop that if we fire with him. He got to throw a punch.
The main thing is he's going to lose big any which way you slice it. His best shot is when Lomachenko gets into those extended combinations, accept the fact you might get knocked out, and go for broke with one hard shot of his own.
I mean,
Which
you
is
don't
more or
hear,
less what trainer Raul
you don't
Rivas
hear
told him between
commentators
rounds.
talking like this during
What a
fights.
ripping shot to the body Lomachenko just landed.
Oh,
Sosa's
my
really
God,
slowing
the
down now. He's
sound,
starting
dude.
to feel the effects of those punches coming in bunches as they came in the last minute.
He's not the
or two.
hardest hitting guy, Loma,
Is that what
but
happens?
Well, you get hurt, then you get dizzy.
Fucking
Both
A, when you
combinations,
get hit
because
like that
now
and embarrassed
you're starting
like
to
that.
realize that every time you throw your punch, you get hit with 4 or 5 punches, and you're not in position to counter.
Bernard, how would you know? You've never been outboxed like this.
Well, one is I'll try to fight in close. I'll try to grab and hold if you
I'm
try
Chris
to leave
Mannix.
and
I
be
have
in range
Sosa
to be able to
winning every
fire.
round.
And that's the key when you fight guys with this leg movement and
Oh,
accuracy.
God,
you must
Jay.
stay close enough where you can also smother them.
And by the way,
Oh, my
how about the
God.
stamina?
To keep throwing those
Tommy
shots.
seems decent.
Usually
I don't
fighters
hate
with
him
this
too much,
volume
but
and
this is-
precision
I wouldn't mind him losing.
aren't also this good defensively.
Look at Sosa's family right now. They're like, oh God.
How you
Jay's
feeling?
on a roll.
Okay?
He is on a roll.
Listen, you're bending too far, all right? And he's catching you with that uppercut. Now, when you're down,
What do you
with
do if
something
you're
over the top?
in the corner and
Come on, be
look
intelligent.
at these numbers? Look at the numbers.
You gotta be strong now. Be strong. Breathe. Breathe.
It's more than 3 to 1. What do you do?
Here's the showboating based on what? Trying to buy some time, trying to make it seem like things ain't happening. But you know, this part of the game when you sort of in a desperate situation. and look, Lomachenko is just now having fun. He's pop shotting, and Sosa can't do anything but to react like, come on, but that really means don't come. So they both really posturing at each other.
At first, Lomachenko was holding out the cape as though he was the matador. Then he mimicked Sosa throwing lumbering
Bravo,
shots.
thank you so much for the follow.
how do you have
Appreciate it, man.
Jim, I got it 6-0, 60-54.
Yeah, I'm giving my guy a
Vasily
reality
Lomachenko.
check, and I'm like,
you know,
you're
Jim,
losing
Jason
this.
Sosa got some
Like,
heart.
I
He got a
just
great
don't
jaw,
know what you
tremendous
do.
heart. I mean, the guy's still standing. It's amazing. He's taking shots that would have knocked
Like, I
over
just don't
telephone
know what you
poles,
do.
And he's still fighting back. I mean, yeah, there's
Sosa,
just
let's
no
give him
quit
credit.
in
Like,
Jason
he's
Sosa.
still
It's
trying
amazing.
to be in this
I
fight.
just
but
hope that, you know,
mentally,
even if he
has to
loses
be
tonight, I want to see him
broken
fight
down
because
for this
he's
fight.
got a big heart and he never stops trying. 6-0 Vasily Lomachenko.
It's the seventh round,
We're going to
and
say
you
that
can't
about a
you
lot
can't
of
do
fighters
anything
who fight Lomachenko.
and
What a
feel
heart,
comfortable.
because of the beating they'll wind up taking.
Well, we didn't say that about Nicholas Walters.
Right,
that was part of what was surprising about that bout.
Yeah.
Lopez Sr. and Sosa stop fucking around and kill this guy. After, Jay, that only works if you say, first, hey, calm, be super calm. Calm down. Okay, go out there and knock that guy
He's
out.
taking all the punches up top, and he's used to them now. He's sort of immune to it.
And
I think he should go to the body, and now he will bring the head down, along with the hands and be able to execute.
There was a body shot.
Jim, you're right about Walters, because there seem to be two options for Lomachenko opponents, even the really, really good ones. Be humiliated and beaten up over time and show your heart, or quit and don't. But either way, the fights seem to turn out one-sided.
Until the night when it doesn't. You know, I mean, we've heaped this kind of glory on fighters before. Ultimately, somehow or another, they begin to diminish. But right now, this is a guy who clearly, at age 29, is at the absolute peak of his powers and has skills that no other fighter in the world appears to be able to match.
All right, come on now, hands are free. Stop. There we go.
And anyone can be hit, and anyone can be hurt, and Sosa's still game, and he's in there trying to do just
I love
that.
how Max
trying to
is
land
like,
one thunderous
we're
shot,
trying to make
one
sure that
thunderous
you
right
guys
hand that can
keep
turn the
watching
fight
this.
around. But he's throwing more and more of them
It's
from
super
off-balance
lopsided,
positions,
but, you
where
know,
he really wouldn't be able to
anything
do
could
any
happen.
damage even if he landed it. He's
Exactly. What he's doing is now just like really trying to keep Lomachenko off him. And so right now, as he haven't threw a punch in 2 or 3, 4 seconds, he's getting really hit with combinations through one left hook. But Lomachenko now is target practicing, and I believe the uppercut, one way or the other, is going to be the one that put this guy down. Sosa is going to go down from combinations, but definitely uppercut.
Stop on the bail.
You pin Lomachenko against the ropes, as Sosa did there. You may not like what happens next.
At this point, if you're Sosa's corner, it's just like, yeah, you're done.
Hey, listen, it's 8th round. You gotta take him out now. You gotta repeat. You gotta take him out.
Like,
Go after
it's
him.
one thing if Loma would start to slow
He's not
down,
supposed to
but
see
you're
your
round
punches. You're not
7
supposed to
and
see him
just,
coming. Keep your hands
Jesus.
up. He's comfortable when you're throwing just one punch. Don't make him comfortable.
The punches landed says it all.
Be intelligent. Okay, you hear me? Be intelligent. And I tell you, bring your hands up. Stop bringing your head down. It's too far down. All right. Let's go.
CompuBox numbers as we go into the 8th round show that Jason Sosa has landed in single digits in all 7 rounds. So it isn't just Lomachenko's offense, which is amazing. It's the defense
Single
as
digit
well. And that's part of the
every
reason
round.
why opponents get frustrated over a period of time. They want to land against him. That's very difficult to do, and he's landing against them.
Lomachenko's opponents, the way he gets opponents, it works like this. He tells his people, I want one of the other belt holders. Well, they're not available. For Lomachenko, they're not available, because they'd like to hold on to their belts. Okay, get me the #1 contender. If he's not available, #2. If he's not available, #3.
But he expressed dissatisfaction with the featherweight division because none of the titleists would fight him. So he moved up to 130 pounds. He fought Walters. Now he says he can't get other titleists in the 130-pound weight division to fight him. Sosa had a secondary WBA belt.
This is before he
That was
moves
good
up
enough.
to 135,
And he
wins
was
the
happy
belt,
that
then
Sosa
moves up
took
to
the bait and
140
decided to
and
take the
wins the
fight.
belt by the way.
Now he's thinking that he might have to move up to 135. And at 135, Max Kellerman, there are some interesting possible opponents. Jorge Linares, who has tremendous
HBO
speed.
boxing,
Mikey Garcia,
with
who has tremendous power.
due to money.
Especially the Garcia fight would be a monster fight. But I think Lomachenko would be favored against any fighter in the world.
HBO boxing was phenomenal.
Up to Terrence
I loved
Crawford,
HBO boxing.
who's a 140-pounder.
And big. And got size.
And who's also a special fighter, a different kind of special fighter. Crawford may be favored against Lomachenko.
I don't love Max Kellerman.
You know, up to
He's
140
primarily
would be.
ESPN, but
the combination,
him and Roy and
Lomachenko is throwing
Jim
right
Lampley
now, and
is just
Sosa
like
who's winging in the wing is really hurt with body shots. It started from the body, left hook, right hand to the body, and he's hurt right now.
Throwing the towel at this point, right?
Between rounds, it's time to put him away, and he has got his man drunk.
And they also doing a matrix on him, and he's hitting from every
Come
angle.
on, man.
I'll tell you what, Sosa's corner sure is brave, aren't they?
Well, they're not in there getting hit, man. So it's easy to be brave when you're not getting hit.
If you're not throwing in the towel at this point as a
Let's
corner,
see how brave a referee he's going to be.
just give me a break.
But the first line of defense, even before the ref, is the corner. And the corner's idea that better that Sosa goes out on his back, giving it his all, than quitting.
But Sosa would not quit, and that's the key. You have to save the fighter from himself, Jim, because he's going to fight until he can't fight anymore.
I prefer HBO
Well, now Sosa gets a little rest
over
after the low
most
blow
platforms.
stoppage. And Lomachenko took
PBC Showtime does a pretty good job.
And that's not really
DAZN is garbage.
That rest give him the chance to recalculate what
their
he was
commentary
doing,
is
and he's going to
fucking
go back
trash.
to the body and come up
ESPN,
to the head.
These are the kind of fights.
It's not the same without Teddy Atlas, but it's still okay.
For his own good, he needs to be
still
saved
okay.
from himself. I mean, Lomachenko doubled over in pain as an empathetic reaction when he hit his opponent with the left hand to the body.
Cover from the low blow.
And that's not going to be good for Sosa.
Doubled over in his own good. He needs to be saved from himself.
Boom.
I mean, Lomachenko doubled over in pain as an empathetic reaction when he hit his opponent with the left hand to the body.
So brutal.
I'll make it simple, right? If I see nothing in his arm, I'm going to stop the fight. I'm not going to let you get hurt. At the end of the day, my responsibility is to protect you. You're my son, and I'm going to do what's my job. I'm going to do my job.
This is. I didn't realize Sosa's dad was the corner
You
man.
understand that? Okay, let's go.
Who's got one round to knock him out.
If I see domination like I saw he just did to you, I'm stopping the fight. My job is not to let you get hurt. I'm not doing that. If I don't see you got nothing to respond, I'm
Good.
stopping the fight.
You know what?
Understand that?
Fucking
I love you
good
to
on the
death.
corner
That's the reality. Give him water.
for at least
Let's wake the fuck
telling
up.
his fighters the
You understand
limitation.
that?
But
Let's wake up.
I mean,
You got this round to show
I
me
would have
something.
stopped it in
round
that
8,
last round.
Vasily Lomachenko landed 48 punches. That's his high number for the fight. A lot of them were very clean shots, straight ahead to the body or head. He's done a lot of damage to Jim.
Right off of angles, Jim. I mean, straight shots, straight left
I
hand
mean,
to the
you're-
solar I mean, yes, from the
If
left
I'm
to
the
right.
dad
He's
of Jason
basically
Sosa, I'm just like, my kid
Sosa to
is
every
just
point
not
of the
at
angle of
this
the ring
level.
he can.
Like
I like
he's
the
not.
speech that Sosa got in the corner. I think it was 1 round late.
Let's see. Lives up to it.
Oh, there it goes.
Jason Sosa has come out and is showing you that he wants to make a
I
bigger
would have
effort
said
here in the 9th
yeah,
round.
I agree with Max Kellerman. About a round short,
His defense, Sosa's defense is so
if you
wide
don't
open.
show me something,
Once
I'm going to
Lomachenko
stop
start
it.
throwing
And then
punches,
flat
I think
last
that's where the
round,
referee is going to
just
be really
embarrassing.
close to watch to stop this fight.
You just
It's
get
like watching a lumberjack
so
with an axe
beat down.
go against a buzzsaw.
When you know the tree is almost down.
Exactly right.
Look, it's round 9.
Accuracy of
Your son
Lomachenko
has,
with
oh,
the right, the
Loma.
left, and just stay there
It's
and
just
look, just
embarrassing.
pop-shotting right now.
Yeah, it's more like a guy with a buzzsaw against a tree, I think, Jim.
A wobbling tree.
Yep.
This is...
At this point, it's just a demonstration of how many shots Sosa can take.
Well, he's
Stream
took a
it?
lot so far, and I think the referee is taking a
50
close
minutes
eye
more?
on taking
Maybe.
Sosa taking any more unnecessarily punches.
Sosa's balance is so bad now that he almost went through the
Depends
ropes on
how
his
much
own.
how much do you guys want to watch?
Eyes closed.
Really up to you.
And
I
Lomachenko,
mean, I was
let's face
thinking
it,
3 hours.
Lomachenko's not
but-
laying the same kind of leather on him that he
Up to
did in
you
the last
guys.
round.
Well, I think it's a little bit of mercy there
Exactly.
that he's throwing. I think
Exactly.
It's
He is showing mercy.
To his credit, that's what he's doing because the power is not there, Max, like it was like the last round. Because now he's
like he's
not
hurt Sosa
tired at all.
badly enough.
Right. And I think he want to throw punches, but the referee will just come in and stop it. But the referee is not looking like he wants to stop it right now.
So who's going to save Sosa? Lomachenko's trying to save him. I've never seen that before.
The corner or the referee?
Right, it should be the corner and then the ref, but I've never seen before one fighter land a devastating punch to another fighter and then without the intent to mock, just out of sympathy,
my God,
himself looked like he experienced the shot, the way a fan would like, ooh, that really hurt.
But this is it. This was 2 or 3 good body shots, and he's still letting it go on. But, you know, give Sosa a chance to go ahead and fire back. But right now, I think he's just waiting to get seriously hurt. And they need to pay attention
I can't even imagine.
Well, mercy from Lomachenko.
I can't imagine. I have to
harder
agree.
to end the fight.
Like, I can't imagine watching my son get just crushed like this.
The clean knockout is merciful.
And just say, you know
Brings
what,
an
I'm
end to
going
the
to
punishment.
end it.
Lomachenko is not a devastating
You know it's
power
bad
puncher.
when there's guys, you
He's a
guys
guy
just
who's
see
gonna
that
hit
guy
you
that
100
left,
times.
right there,
Beat you up,
leaving
Jimmy,
from the
beat you up
front
bad.
row.
And don't tell Rocky Martinez that, by the way.
If I'm his dad, I just stop. Look at his mom. That's it. That's it.
It looks as though Rivas took the mouthpiece out of Jason Sosa's mouth. And now they're going to stop.
Good for Rivas. Correct call.
Good job.
Absolutely.
Yeah. Right call.
Congratulations to Lomachenko.
Good
Sosa's
call. Good call. Good call. Because like we want guys to just destroy sometimes, but same time it's like, you know, come on. Oh, here's a good one. Top Rank might get mad at me for doing this one. All right. Hold on. I gotta pee really quick. I'll be back. Okay. I'd say at least one more fight, and then we might be done for Classic Fight Night tonight, which turned into Lomachenko Classic Fight Night.
Be the bigger guy in the ring tonight. I don't have the exact weights about what they're coming in.
Tomorrow night, we're going to be watching the Haney fight, and then on Sunday, Tank Davis.
Much more weight than what Lomachenko is going to be bringing into the ring. But
And, by the way, Jay, Shrek, all you guys that are in chat, you guys are famous now. I've been using those videos from Wednesday. And so everyone can see what you guys are saying in chat during the live stream.
Vasil Lomachenko, 12 rounds for the WBO Junior Lightweight Championship. One Puerto Rican star has already won tonight. Philip Verdejo. Now the question is, will
This is
Martinez
maybe one of my
follow?
favorite knockouts ever.
Scheduled for 12. Danny Giamone is the third man in the ring. Martinez in the red trunks. Lomachenko in the blue, yellow, and white trunks.
Martinez, the champion in this fight, but comes in as many as I've seen, 50-1 underdog in this fight.
As I've seen them come in, they both came in kind of dry. I mean, I don't know how warm are they and how loose, but they came in kind of dry. And let's see how long it's going to take
Oh, you mean in terms of the sweat and warming up?
Right, the warming up.
I thought
that's the fun part.
Too, and we saw how he did. It just took him a little while.
That's the fun part, Shrek. Let them know if they want to join us, they can join us. Have some fun, chat with us.
And he pulls Rocky down as the crowd starts chanting Rocky. They know who they're rooting for.
I was surprised at the noise that we heard when Lomachenko's name was announced too. There is a huge Ukrainian contingent and fight fan contingent that enjoys watching Lomachenko go to work.
They have a huge one in the Bronx, and they all
I think
probably
they're here.
Rocky Martinez right here. It thinks,
Lomachenko,
you know, I can handle this. This isn't crazy.
And you can see him here in this first round, feeling out.
In this first round.
To go. His form is textbook, defensively especially.
The crowd's chanting
this
for
place
Rocky.
is alive. First 2 minutes, not much going on in this first round. But it's been Lomachenko that's been stalking.
How good on Top Rank for going back with these videos, putting their logo for the fight this next weekend. Not this weekend, but next weekend.
Lomachenko doing a lot of leading with the straight left hand. And backs him up by going to the stomach. Now Lomachenko backs him up again.
Lomachenko keeps complaining about the head, but they're gonna bump heads a lot. They, you know, so he's gonna see that a lot.
Goodbye,
Martinez still trying to figure out Lomachenko in the first round. Did not throw many punches.
As we mentioned earlier, Lomachenko's only loss as a professional was to Orlando Salido. Rocky Martinez has fought Salido twice in two what could have been considered fight of the year candidates or winners. Rocky winning one and then getting a draw in the other. So that's how he was able to maintain that title that they're fighting for right now tonight.
But it's different styles because
Absolutely.
you see Salido is coming to fight.
This
guy's coming to fight, but
great
also
fight.
has
Just because you
lateral
get to
movement,
see, I
so
mean,
the
it's
way
not
he
like
moves.
Rocky Martinez is
and fast.
piss poor
Rocky
form
trying to
fighter.
get that straight right hand out there.
But it's like when like
He's been a little
traditional
gunshot as far.
style
backing
meets
up, trying to
a little bit more new
prepare
school.
defensively for the way Lomachenko stares him down.
Martinez telling me in the meetings yesterday that he feels he has the advantage in strength, power, and experience when asked what he brings to the table.
Well, right now it looks like Lomachenko has his strength because he's been pushing him. Around.
Straight left.
But this is the way Martinez
I love
fights
his
all
lead
fights.
hand. You see that?
He looks
And
like
look
a
at the
rat
footwork.
going back.
Nice
Oh my
combination.
God,
Straight
dude!
left hand got through by Lomachenko.
Come on. The footwork,
he takes that
the
right
hand
and
movement.
he like moves it around almost in a dizzying fashion.
Beautiful work.
And Lomachenko prides himself on not being hit. He said, when I talk to you after the fight, I don't want to have any marks on my face.
Well, he's doing that so far. Now you see me, now you don't.
Right.
That's a low blow.
That was a low blow. It was thrown by Martinez.
And Martinez, when asked if he was going to try to make it a dirty fight, make it kind of like what Salido did to Lomachenko, he said, I'm not a dirty fighter. That's not in my game plan to make it a dirty fight. But that's the second I've seen that's been a little bit low. So maybe he's saying that so that nobody looks for it ahead of time. But obviously against Salido, it worked in terms of the judges.
But sometimes on the way he's got long arms and the way he tries to shoot his punches, they might go a little low.
And Lomachenko's
because
shorter.
Lomachenko's going down.
Yep.
That straight left is getting through by Lomachenko. And Rocky is really playing the role of counterpuncher. Finally throws a right hand. but he's counterpunching without throwing the punch.
Right. But you see, if you jab a lot to a southpaw, you're going to get hit. So instead of jabbing a lot, fake the jab and hit with a left hook. You know, but step, you got to put your foot right there.
And Rocky's not a bad boxer.
And punch, that's it.
Like
punch
if
from
you
there.
or me
And
went
keep
in the
making
ring
him
with
turn, though.
Rocky,
Don't let him go the other way.
He would knock us out in
Like
one
right there.
round. No
He stood there. He shouldn't stay there.
And it's crazy.
Very quick and elusive with Lomachenko.
Oh, that right there.
By Lomachenko.
My God.
And he caught Rocky a little bewildered as he made his move.
He just slides one way and punches you from the other angle.
Another move. You're right, Christina. He made a tremendous
Turn, though. Don't let him go the other way. Like right there. He stood there. He shouldn't stay there.
There we go. That little mad door
Very
right there.
quick and elusive is Lomachenko.
There we go.
Right hand by Lomachenko. And he caught Rocky a little bewildered as he made his move.
He just slides one way and punches you from the other angle.
Another move. You're right, Christina. He made a tremendous quick move there, too.
In, out, body, uppercut.
Good
Just
combination. They all went in.
Combinations.
And that's what I want to see, the movement. You see right there. That,
Turn.
Yep.
Oh, my God.
You know, and you have to be, if you're Rocky, you have to be very thoughtful in terms of what's coming next, because as soon as he turns, he's throwing on the spin.
This is where a smart fighter is. You could tell who's a smart fighter. You understand?
Yeah.
If you're a smart fighter, you will know what to do in the next one. But sometimes they just shut down.
Rocky never saw that right hand coming.
I think Rocky would like to be engaged in a war rather than trying to solve the mystery.
You gotta make it a war to really be in war.
Meaning he's got to let his hands go. He's
Yes.
got to use his offense as his defense.
All he has to do is he's trying to do
I'm
it,
glad
but he's
someone
taking
sees
too
it
long
my
to do
way.
it. That's the right hand you're supposed to do. Move
A
that
healthy
leg with
Loma.
him, boom.
I mean, look at
this
this is just
Or
like.
bring him over. If that's not working, you bring him over with your hook. So you
why
can hit him
it's
with
so
your right
fun
hand.
to watch. And
Nice
Shrek, by the way,
combination by
you have a
Lomachenko.
bunch of fights to watch that we
Short,
haven't
crisp
shown
left and
tonight.
right combo. Now he's peppering the jab. Instead of leading with the left hand, which he did early, now he's leading with the jab. There's the lead with the left hand.
Nicholas Walters fight, Gary Russell Jr. fight.
Jab, but I don't think it's
By the way,
right
Gary
now to
Russell
do.
Jr. beat Jojo Diaz, who's fighting
He's
tomorrow
gonna get hit with a straight left
against
if he
Haney.
shoot that jab.
So, you know,
Nice swift move again.
Comey's a great
Lomachenko,
fighter.
three-punch combination.
Very solid
Spinning turn
boxer.
move.
He's very, like, fundamentally sound. From Ghana.
Martinez trying to move
Judo
his head
beat
a little bit.
Robert Easter, which is a great
Establish
accomplishment.
something.
And then his second loss was to Lopez because he didn't utilize his reach, which is over 3 inches. In terms of it,
Lomachenko throws
like,
the jab again after
absolutely
setting the
crazy,
jab up
great
with the straight
reach
left hand,
advantage.
which is a little bit opposite of what you see in Texas fighting.
Oh.
There's a short uppercut that landed by Lomachenko.
Comey can't handle this version
That's the
of
right hand he
Lomachenko.
should be shooting all night.
No question.
Now Rocky doing
I don't
a
know
little
if
bit
there's
of chasing.
anyone
That's the right
now
hand. He's got to be putting that right hand.
There isn't. There isn't.
And the crowd wants him to do a little bit more
This
offensive
version
fighting, but
is
he's got to
just-
catch him first. Lomachenko catches him with a combination. Short, crisp left uppercut.
Bravad. Was it
First
that?
you're here,
Was that?
then you're
Was
gone.
it that crazy, Shrek?
Now you're here, now you're not. Rocky gets in a short
Put it
left
on
hook.
TikTok or whatever.
Oh, straight left hand by Lomachenko on the button right before the bell.
Boom, boom.
Juan Laporte, did you see that?
Cowboy
That two
laugh?
punches
I don't know what a
within
cowboy laugh is. I'll see what it
blink
is.
of an eye.
That's that straight one. He knew he caught him good. He just walked right back.
Yeah,
He heard the bell. He
Yeah.
knew it was,
Floated a
yeah.
little bit. Lomachenko is looking to set a new record and become a two-time world champion in the shortest period ever. 7 professional fights. 8 is the record. Japan's Naoya Inoue, the reigning junior bantamweight title holder, needed 8. Lomachenko looking to make it in 7. He already owns the WBO featherweight championship. Now he's stepping up in weight to 130 for the first time.
Yeah, his 4th fight, or 3rd fight ever, or 4th fight, I think it is.
Good show.
He stepped up in weight to try to get about that. A new weight
Martinez
class.
landing a couple of punches. He's going to have to go after him, Juan.
Yes, no, definitely. I'm telling you, right
3
now, you
belts
should be using that
in
level.
11
Forget about
fights.
that jab. Stop walking that side
At
and start
different
throwing that
weight
hook. Make him turn to you. And then you can hit him with the right hand. Walk. He's not doing it. He should be walking this way towards us.
Let him out. Step back.
To the body goes Martinez. You can hear that body flow is good.
Still down,
Solid.
that sucks.
That's a start.
I didn't realize that, Shrek.
Left hand, short left hand by Lomachenko. Got in there.
It's like
We'll see what we
wide
can
open.
do.
That right hand is too low for Rocky Martinez. He's hitting that, and it's not even, it's like straight down the lane, straight down the pipe, no problem.
Lomachenko chops away at the midsection. Midway through the 4th round. Scheduled for 12.
And he's letting Lomachenko dictate the distance. When he wants to come in, he comes in. When he wants to stay out, he stays out. He's not applying the pressure or shortening the distance like Rocky should.
Well, Rocky is, right now, he's confused a little bit on what this guy's going to be. He's got to forget about
I mean,
what
this
he's
might
gonna
be one of my favorite KOs. It's the best KO for
Man,
Lomachenko.
that was close to the belt. That left hand by Lomachenko. Now he's upstairs.
Oh, that's straight left.
Straight left. And now peppering, doubling up on the jab. And following it up with a straight left hand. Lomachenko is putting on an exhibition in this round.
And you spoke of his chance to make history tonight. Now you can see.
Another one.
You can see why his promoter was not scared to put him into a world title fight.
Left hand. He's thrown 4 haymakers in this round.
And Rocky don't like to get hit too much to the body either. I know there's another fights too, but he's tough, but he don't like to get hit in the body.
Crack, just wait till you see the knockout.
Bruce Beck, Juan Laporte, Christina Poncher, ringside at the theater, Madison Square Garden, New York City. Round number 5. Roman Rocky Martinez, Vasyl Lomachenko. Junior lightweight title on the line in the WBO. Lomachenko looking for his 2nd title in just 7 pro fights after an incredible amateur career, which included a 395 and 1
Lomachenko versus Comey is going to be a good fight. I thought Nakatani versus Loma would be a very good fight. Like, when I heard about that fight, I was like, that's a
The guy's
problem.
still in amateurs.
That's some serious
that guy
problem.
doesn't want to see him ever again.
He said thank you to Lomachenko when he decided to turn pro.
Lomachenko landing another bomb with the left hand. Another bomb! Rocky scared. Goes down! Oh, man.
He did it.
That's it. I don't think he's getting up. Wow.
Yeah, I think he knocked him out.
What a performance and a cartwheel.
And then he does a backflip.
Lomachenko with a... This place is absolutely on edge.
Here we go. You ready?
Very emotional.
Ready to see it?
You can tell how much this means to him.
Oh, definitely.
Boom, boom.
Oh, the right hand. It was a left-right combination one, but the punctuation mark was the right.
Was the upper?
Oh, man.
The left hook.
Right hook.
Yep. Uppercut and a right hook. And this is what a tall fighter is supposed to be doing to a shorter fighter.
Lopez versus Flores Jr. No, we did not.
That's a knockout. I didn't think there was any way in the world he was getting up after that.
Okay. Well, sorry. I keep screwing that button up. I'm sorry. Hopefully you guys enjoyed some of the Loma fights and some other fights that we had on Earth. I think we'll be done for tonight because I have tomorrow night we're doing Haney versus Diaz. And then I have to do a Sunday stream. We have to do Tank Davis. Tank Davis versus Cruz is an absolute must. So we'll do that. We'll make sure that we get both those going. If you're not part of the Discord, I mean, come on. The Discord especially. So, next Friday, we will not have Classic Fight Night. But we will be live for the Lomachenko-Comey fight. Absolutely. Absolutely, we will be live for that. So, you know, I thought it was kind of fun to watch some of that. I know UFC 269. I thought, you know, Loma. It's fun because the only reason I wanted to show Loma especially is we have Kambosos and now we have Tank and we have Haney, all calling him out. So it's, you know, let's get some context, right? Guys, tomorrow night we'll be live. If you're not part of the Discord, I mean pretty much everyone in Discord right now that is verified is in the chat right now. So we'll have that live for you guys. So go to the Discord if you want to watch it. And with that said, have a great Friday night. We'll see you tomorrow night on Saturday. And then Sunday night as well. 2 fights back to back. Both of them kind of interesting. The Diaz and JoJo one, not as much. But Tank Davis, you got to watch. Tank Davis is must-see TV. So hopefully we'll see you then.